assessed.
Off Japan's west coast.
The Kyongyong-sun capsized after the crew called for help early morning local time. The Coast Guard told the BBC that one of the crew members was conscious and is being treated. The South Korean ship was reportedly at anchor because of stormy weather and strong winds. The rescue operation has been conducted close to the city of Shimonoseki in the country's southwest. Japanese media have reported that the crew included 2 Korean nationals, 8 Indonesians, and 1 Chinese citizen.
The BBC's Shaima Khalil. Australia has received its most senior Chinese leadership visit in nearly 7 years, with stability a key theme of the discussions between the country's foreign ministers. China's Wang Yi met with his counterpart Penny Wong on his tour of Australia and New Zealand. The meeting comes as relations continue to thaw between the two countries. News and analysis, townhall.com. The United Nations condemning China's ongoing crackdown on dissent in Hong Kong.
A national security law, which was unanimously approved by Hong Kong lawmakers on Tuesday, is widely seen as the latest step in a political crackdown triggered by pro-democracy protests in 2019. Jeremy Lawrence, UN human rights spokesman, denounces Hong Kong's adoption of the law.
The broadly defined and vague provisions in the bill under Article 23 of Hong Kong's Basic Law could lead to the criminalisation of a wide range of conducts protected under international human rights law.
Lawrence adds the ambiguity is deeply troubling. I'm Charles de Ledesma.
Irish Prime Minister Leo Varadkar says he'll step down as leader of the country just as soon as a successor has been chosen. Once again on Wall Street this hour, the Dow futures are down 68 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of the world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm, I'm ringing through it. Flamenco gets on the cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The abolition, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy middle of the week, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Hope your Wednesday is going well. Weather, not too bad. Nice yesterday. I think some areas got a little sprinkling. Like, I didn't see any where I was at, but like coming to work today, I saw puddles in places. So I think some places got a little bit of rain. Not where I was at, but somebody did, because I saw a lot of puddles coming to work this morning. So
yeah, we didn't.
Yeah, me either. But happy Wednesday. Sean is out of pocket today, praying for him and his family this morning. Sean had lost a member of the family yesterday. His kid's grandfather, his former father-in-law, lost his battle with cancer yesterday, so we lost him. Prayers to the family, but Sean's out of pocket today. I think he'll be back tomorrow on air with everybody. I think he'll actually be back here later today, but on air. So prayers out to the family there and everything, as they're going through a tough time.
Yeah. I was going to say his kids, mothers, fathers, cousin.
Yeah, it's his father-in-law, his former father-in-law, basically. Obviously still very much part of his life and everything. But yes, so it's pretty hard going over there right now. So prayers to them, and of course, folks that know the family, I'm sure they're reaching out and sending prayers and and helping out any way they can. So, but yeah, we're praying for those guys this morning and keep them in your prayers. And hopefully Sean will be back here tomorrow on the shows and doing his thing. And he's got a lot going on right now. So
yeah,
so he's handling business. So
when I woke up this morning on the TV, it was that Access Hollywood or whatever, the Mario Lopez thing that he's on.
Yeah,
and they were like back on in 2000, and they were like covering. It was showing they were covering Big Brother at the time. And they were showing the set and of the house, and it looks way more like a set than it does a house.
Yeah,
it looks like living there would have been miserable because it's like an empty house completely. Like it's not a real house at all.
Yeah, it is. It's a studio. It's on a studio lot. I watch the show pretty regularly.
Yeah.
And so like it looks like when you watch the show, like the amenities in the house they live in looks nice. As far as they got they have a hot tub.
I thought they were living on a house like on a remote island. Or
no,
something.
it's I think it's very secluded. It's a studio lot.
Yeah,
they're on Paramount or whoever produces the show, the CBS thing. So I don't know if it's Paramount or whatever. So I'm guessing the house is sitting in a house is a loose term. The house is probably inside a studio building.
Yeah,
in Paramount Studios. Yeah, and because they have to sequester, they can't put them in the public because then the outside world can taint the game, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
Because in essence, they're isolated from society in that, there's only been like one or two times in the history of the show where they kind of broke the real world to them while it was going on, while they were living in the quote unquote house. One of them was 9/11. When 9/11 went down and all that, they kind of said, "Hey, this went down," and they told the cast at the time that was in the house. But yeah, I've seen if you watch the show, they do the eviction night. Whenever night they evict a house guest, that's usually a live show or taped live. It's I think it was live on the East Coast or something like that. But anyway, so they have a studio audience and everything there, and it's literally a stage like you would a TV show for the Today Show or any of these other shows. That part's a stage, and that is attached to the house because the house, they come out of the house onto the stage. So literally the stage is part of the set there where the audience sits and all that. And then there's these two doors, and on the other side of that door is the quote living area for the house. And they have an outside, but it's all sequestered. They can see the top and get rain and sun and everything. But there's huge walls and everything, so like a prison. But instead of, like a prison, it's got fake grass and a pool.
But it feels more like like an office building than an actual house. Like,
exactly. It's
all the functions of a house, but in a building.
Yeah.
And
and everything's pumped in, like all their food, they have a pantry that they resupply, and I guess the guests get to request things if you want, and they try to put it in there, and part of it's rewards and stuff.
One room is just like a sink in the corner, and then a table in the other corner, and that's it. And then the other one room's just all their bunk beds in together, and it looks like a prison.
Right. And I always wonder too, because I think there's only like 2 bathrooms in that whole house. At least that's the way the show portrays it. Like one in the HOA room and then the community bathroom.
Yeah.
And so I always wonder, it's like, when there's like 16 people in there, 2 bathrooms is not a lot for 16 people. I'm just saying, and really only 1 bathroom, because technically one is for the HOA household, and I guess they can share that bathroom, but in tech, that's their bathroom. That's a perk. They get to, their own luxurious little space for the week.
Yeah.
But
they have like security cameras, like as if you're spying on them.
Well, that's the whole show.
That's the point.
Everything's camera. They even got cameras in the bathrooms. They got cameras everywhere. There literally is no privacy, I think, except for like in the bathroom stall. Like if you need to go to the bathroom, they have like a stall, like a public bathroom, and that's even the shower is like it's on just like the bathroom's there and the shower's there, but there's a door that only covers like from your neck to your ankles.
Yeah.
And then so you're seen. So literally the camera's on in there. They show you in the shower. They're seeing your head and ankles, but there you're just, doing your thing. And so it's there's a camera and everything.
Yeah,
that's that show.
Compare that to like the new shows on USA now, like the Temptation Island,
where
they're just literally living on like an island house or whatever.
Well, and Big Brother's like that, but just because I think it's because of the whole, because they don't get to watch TV, they don't get to see movies unless it's a movie that's sponsored by the show that they give them as a reward. They don't get to the internet, newspaper. They literally get. I think the only forms of entertainment, I think they're allowed to have like CDs or music.
Yeah.
And I think it's only a couple. There's a Bible. They have a Bible, and that's. I don't even think they can. I don't even know about other books and stuff. Like I don't know if they get access to all that without.
Yeah, I don't know how they didn't go insane.
Yeah. Well, that's the whole point. They want you in there talking and interacting and game playing, and not sitting in rooms reading books and listening to music. That's not exciting TV.
Right.
That's kind of, it's all to make because at the end of the day, and let's think, and this is the other thing too, these people volunteered for it and they're competing for $500,000. So,
yeah.
Sorry, you don't get to watch TV or get on the internet for 3 months or however long they're in the house there,
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe like a fireplace would be, or something,
Well, they're in California. It's warm all the time. They don't have to worry about fire.
Yeah.
They it's always warm where they're at. So.
Well, yeah. I mean, like it just looks like a prison in there. It just looks like a.
It's pretty nice though. I mean, they have all the amenities. They got pool. They got like a swimming pool. They got a pool, billiards. They've got.
Well, yeah, that's the thing too. Is the pool
tub.
Is like it's just a pool.
Yeah.
Like, and that's all it is. You know? It's
but there's a hot tub there too.
It's just a hole in the ground, and
well, the point is not to create it like Disney World.
No.
The point is to get socially 10 people, guys and gals, in the pool, chit-chatting, talking while they film it, and drama ensues. That's the whole point. They don't want to give them too many distractions to keep them from interacting. So you give them enough to spark the conversation, but not too much to give them independent entertainment where they don't talk to each other.
Yeah. I'm just saying it's like the whole like the show is kind of like not as it is shown.
Yeah,
it's shown like it's a real house.
Yeah.
And
well, if you ever really want a good inside baseball, is Paramount does like when Big Brother's on, they have 24/7 streams. So literally, if you're that addicted to the show, you could get on Paramount Plus.
Oh wow!
And they have like usually 3 or 4 different cams that you can watch, and I've watched them before. And it's slow. It can be, but it's literally like you'll see a conversation, but it's hundreds of like they show 3 or 4 episodes a week, maybe 3 or 4 hours of content a week from the house. They're literally whittling down hours and hours and hours of standing around talking about nothing, farting, scratching, doing all the things they do, and packaging that into 3 or 4 hours of programming each week. Well, this 24/7 stream, you just see that all the time. So you see everything, the good, the bad, the ugly. Oh. They cuss. I mean, there's no filter. So if they're cussing, you get to cuss. If they fart, you hear the fart. It's all of it. It's really just the raw feed of it 24/7. So you kind of get a good sense of what life is like in the house.
Like the uncensored, unedited stuff.
Yeah, it's literally just the camera. Now, if something gets really, like they'll turn the cam off. Like if it's like if nudity's involved or something like that, then they turn the camera off. But rest of the time it's just wide open.
Which is why I never understood the show. Like I was literally a kid when Big Brother came out.
Well, it's literally a fly on the wall, and people. It's one of the early. Real World and all that started all this.
If I can't even watch them make whoopee, then what's the point? No.
Well, that's just it. That was the whole thing back in the day. Is like, are they gonna or not? We don't know. They're falling in love, and now it's just. But anyway, I didn't know we were gonna do 20 minutes on Big Brother, but I'm prepared. Let me give you the rundown for today's show. We got a full slate for you. John from Oasis Computer is going to join us here in just a few minutes. John comes in and gives us tech advice each and every month. So we'll talk tech with John here in just a few. We're going to replay an interview in the 8 o'clock hour. Yesterday, we had Ray Baca join us. This weekend is the 76th annual Golden Gloves Boxing, New Mexico Boxing, happening at Roswell High Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It's going to be 3 days of just amazing boxing. But Ray joined us to talk a little bit about the Golden Gloves boxing weekend. So we're going to play that interview for you here around 8:15. And then in the 9 o'clock hour, about 9:15, last week we had Steve Booker join us. He's with the Small Business Development Center out at ENMUR. And that's a great, the center there, if you're a small business owner, they got a lot of resources for if you start your business, keep your business going, and it's all free of charge. So we had a conversation with Steve and talking a little bit about small businesses and things like that. And we're probably going to do kind of a monthly thing with him on that, just kind of tips and things. But Scott joined us last week, so I'm going to play that for you here around 9:15 or so. Plus, we'll have all of your features that include the newses of the local and national variety, along with your Wall Street business updates and whatever else we can come up with for today's show. But first, let's take a gander at your weather. It's not too bad. It's typical New Mexico spring, really.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We're in pretty nice shape for the next few days. Temperatures will be on a slow warming trend. We'll be up to about the 80-degree mark by Friday. High pressure overhead, so we get sunshine today with low 70s on the high. Maybe a few clouds drifting through overnight, low to mid 40s, and then we're in the mid to upper 70s and sunny on Thursdays, Friday, sunny and 80. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 45 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 71%. Winds currently out of the northwest at 7 miles per hour. Another nice day today. Partly cloudy skies. 73 for a high today with west winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. I believe they call that Chamber of Commerce weather. So there we go. Beautiful day today. Tonight, partly cloudy. Expect an overnight low of 43 degrees. Southwest winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Thursday, another nice one, mostly sunny, 74 for a high, west winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tomorrow night, mostly clear with an overnight low of 47 degrees, west winds 10 to 15 miles per hour. Friday, sunny, pushing 80, 79 for a high, winds out of the northwest 10 to 15 miles per hour. Friday night, we're looking at partly cloudy skies, 46 for an overnight low, and then for the weekend, partly cloudy, 78 for a high on Saturday. Windy on Sunday. They're talking patchy blowing dust for the afternoon and all that, but partly cloudy, 73 for a high there. And for fun, they've tacked on a 20% chance of rain for Monday when you head back to work and school. Otherwise, 62 and breezy under mostly sunny skies. So, all right, it is 7:20. We're going to take a 3-minute break, and then John with Oasis Computers will join us here on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
At Richland Motors, it's never been easier to sell or trade your current car, truck, or SUV for a newer model to hit the road in. Even if you don't purchase from Richland, they want to buy your vehicle for top dollar. But if you do buy from Richland, don't forget, they're the home of the powertrain warranty for life. That's a whole lot of confidence for you. See Richland for details. 2nd and Sycamore and 1309 Southeast Main.
Wakefield Oil Express has the highest quality service in Roswell with a 17-point full-service oil change that includes a full wash and vacuum at their car wash. You won't find a better deal. They also offer full synthetic oil changes, fuel and cabin filter replacements, and will even check your battery. Their tunnel wash isn't afraid of dirty vehicles. They have the best value wash in town with free vacuums. They even offer wash passes that can be used for multiple vehicles. Next time you need your oil changed, go to the fast and efficient Wakefield Oil Express and let them earn your business. 3204 North Main, Roswell.
Are you or a loved one having a hard time getting to your medical appointments? At Artesia General Hospital, we believe that transportation should never be a barrier to good health. That's why we're excited to announce our new non-emergency medical transportation services. Each of our vans is wheelchair accessible, and our friendly certified drivers go the extra mile by meeting you at your doorstep and ensuring a comfortable ride to your Artesia General Hospital services. Rides are available Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Schedule your ride today by visiting artesiageneral.com/transportation or calling 575-736-8211.
Get your tickets now as Red Zone presents A Night with C.J. Stroud, Saturday, April 13th at the Bulldog Pit in Artesia. Previously announced as A Night with Jason Witten, Jason became unavailable, so C.J. Stroud stepped up to take his place. C.J. is the 2024 Offensive Rookie of the Year with the Houston Texans and two-time Heisman Trophy finalist. Admission is free, but you must have have a ticket to enter. Jason Witten printed tickets are still good, and remaining tickets are available at the Artesia Chamber of Commerce. This invitation is courtesy of H.F. Sinclair. Excited about C.J. Stroud coming to Artesia.
Get ready, Roswell and surrounding areas. The biggest block party of the year is coming to the Liberty. The first annual Rock the Block Downtown Block Party, Saturday, April 6th, in the parking lot of the Liberty in Roswell. An all-day block party with fun for the whole family, plus food trucks and vendors, a beer garden, and more. Featuring Los Lonely Boys.
How far is heaven? Lord, can you tell me?
With special guest Shiloh.
I still don't get you, hard as I try. Is there no endeavor inside?
And Robin Scott.
When you turn and you walk away, it will be one big glorious day.
Tickets are available now at thelibertyinc.com. Get yours before they're gone. And don't forget about the after party live inside the Liberty. Gates open at 3. Tickets and more info at thelibertyinc.com. Rock the Block 2024. Saturday, April 6th in the parking lot of the Liberty, 312 North Virginia in Roswell.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. U-Haul is the world's largest advertiser in the Yellow Pages. Too bad millennials don't know what the Yellow Pages are. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 7:24, and joining us in studio this morning, John from Oasis Computers back with us. Good morning, John.
Good morning.
How's life at the shop today?
Pretty good. Pretty good.
Good deal. Of course, folks not familiar, John pops in for a visit each month and talks computer tech with us. If it's sometimes the latest and greatest or not so greatest with Microsoft updates, or
yeah,
or it could be just good useful tips on general computer housekeeping to just staying on top of stuff is half the battle sometimes. So that's kind of what we do, is just kind of give folks a little bit insight on the world of computers and things.
Right.
So is it pretty, I don't know, for me it seems kind of quiet in the computer world as far as releasing and updating. And I know Microsoft Windows did an update here.
I think we're just being abused too much with all the updates, and it's like,
yeah,
doesn't hurt no more. It's just the way it is.
Right.
Stuff.
It's the cost of doing business now, instead of the oh man, someone ought to fix this. Now it's just like, that's just how the deal works.
Yeah, we're just the passwords and keeping up with that is still the biggest problem.
And I still think as technology advances, it's still going to get worse, not better, until, you know what I mean?
No, I think it's getting better.
Is it? Okay, because now that we went to these different ways to access, instead of putting in a password, your eye or thumb or some design and,
well, the
finger.
Problem is right now is that everybody is doing something new.
Yeah.
And I don't even get half of it to work correctly. It works here, but not there. And then it doesn't work, but the next day it does work, and don't understand why it works now. So the, how do you put it? The passwords are finally something that people realize is important, whatever. And now they're changing that again. But that's confusing, even though it may be easier. Certain things work pretty good. The message to the phone, but then we run into problems that people don't have the right phone, change phone number. It really feels like at the moment you can't win, but you can see it go forward.
Mm-hmm.
The Microsoft, wants the Microsoft account, and slowly more and more systems get reinstated if something goes wrong by re-signing into your Microsoft account.
Right.
If it is set up correctly, it works really well at the moment. Your stuff stays, comes back. And then Google is doing the same thing from within Google. So is Firefox. All of them, you can make a Google account and a Firefox account.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you log into the browser then brings everything back that you had in there.
Right.
And those things, I think, are going forward very helpful, except we're in the middle of it. And it like I said before, it looked like I would have a lot less work. Just get a new machine or have it redone, whatever, redo it, and then sign in with a Microsoft account. Just about everything comes back that belongs with Microsoft anyway. And that's not working out real well. Now we're running into the problem that to get it back, more and more we need passwords. People don't know them because they were entered in automatically.
Right.
Now, if you have the old system, you can just go look at it. But if it broke, the drive went bad, whatever, then you don't have that.
You're out
And
of
now
luck.
we need to figure out the passwords, what turned out to be a lot more of a nightmare and a time-consuming process than what it should be.
You know, that kind of spawned a little bit of a question there when you're talking, you know, because we have different ways of, like when you log into your Microsoft or whatever accounts you have here, and a lot of times, you know, if you haven't logged in for a while, or if you forget those passwords, like you said, you retrieve your password, or hey, you logged in but put in your password to verify it's you, kind of thing. After, you know, sometimes I guess after so many months, they want you to put the password in to keep it fresh or something. But a lot of times they'll ask you, you know, hey, you put in your password, we want to do a second verification to prove it's you. And would you like sent to your email, text to your phone, or whatever? And I think, you know, thinking logically, and I don't know if this is correct logic, but would it not make sense? Because I think more people are less apt to change their phone number than their email. Like, I feel like people keep a phone number longer than they keep.
I think the problem is the understanding how important that is.
Yeah.
That's more than anything else. We just, you know, a phone number. Well, you know, it's nice to have the same phone number. People know you and can call you by that number. But if you change it, it doesn't matter.
Sure.
Well, now you tie your accounts to it, and then you change the phone number. Then something goes wrong, and then the password don't work. Whoever's fault that is, doesn't matter at this point. Password doesn't work. Send a message to the phone number ending in 22 or whatever, and well, you changed the phone and the phone number 3 weeks ago. Well, you can't get that message there, and then there's no help. Then you're stuck.
Well, I just think sometimes some people, like, they have multiple emails, and they're like, oh, I don't remember what email this is assigned to. But if you set it up so that your verifications and everything go to your phone instead of an email, I imagine you have a stronger chance of not losing things. If that makes sense?
Yeah,
because I just feel like you're more apt to use the phone and keep that number.
Right. To put it simple, if you do computers, it seems like you need to have one of these modern cell phones.
Right.
You know, not an old flip phone that doesn't do emails. That don't work. You need to definitely get email on it because. I mean, not email, texting on it. Because it needs to text something to it. Do not change that number. So, first of all, you have to have it. Some older folks have been in, they don't have a cell phone number, and it already becomes a problem. It's really, things that are not on the radar until something goes wrong.
Sure.
You know, so you set it up and you think you're doing good, then we have a tendency to forget. I mean, I had a real long password for my password manager, and then I run into a problem that it didn't work because I had to go to the wife's phone, what it's installed on there.
Right.
And the thumbprint on it did not work. And I said, this is too complicated. It's too hard to find it on this device. And I changed the password, and I said, okay, I use this. I'll remember that. Let me write it down, though. Well, the next morning I come to work, and it didn't work because I picked the wrong one of the combination that you use. You know, the brain remembered a different combination than what I actually used.
Sure.
So I had to call up and say, hey, that piece of paper, can you tell me what the password was?
Yeah.
And, you know, after 2 or 3 times, it kind of sort of sticks a little bit. So those things we run into. The other problem I run into is real funny. We got some little tablets, some Windows tablets at the house. And I set them up so that we both can use them. She can use it by logging into her account. I can log into my account. Well, you have face recognition, it works great. So you are the other person using the machine, and you don't know how to do it. So you hand it over to me, and in the meantime, it had gone off, so you need to re-log in. So I need to re-log into your account, but I'm looking at it, and it keeps logging in with my account. I mean, another thing...
This almost sounds like a Laurel and Hardy bit there.
Yes, that's a good comparison. So I had it set up with face recognition, and that did good for a little while until we had a problem. This was just over the weekend.
Yeah.
And it's like, darn it, every time I do something, it logs me in. I need to log in so I had to turn the face recognition off and just use the PIN. And that worked. So up front, when you set it up, it looks great. I hand it to you, it opens up for you. I use it for me, it opens up for me.
Right.
You need some help, it opens up for me. But I need help with your account, and it opens up for me. Laurel and Hardy, yes, it comes to mind.
I feel like, why hasn't some TV show done this as a comedy bit on their show? Because that's exactly what
I think because we're too frustrated with it, and then the brain doesn't work.
Right.
You know, the most obvious thing is you ask for a password, and it's like, can't come up with it.
Yeah.
You hand him a keyboard, types it right in.
Yeah.
You know,
oh yeah, muscle memory. That's a powerful thing. I don't know how many times, and just because in my world I do that a lot, where I work on the computer and do things here, but then say another employee calls me and says, "How do you access and do this?" And I'm like, "Hold on, I got to get in front of a computer because I've got to go through the motions to explain it to you." Does it? You know what I mean? You're like, in my head, yeah, I know exactly what to do, but when I got to explain it, no, I got to physically go through the motions to remember the process.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's exactly what you're talking
Having
about.
a password that you log in different places with, but it's the same account you're logging in with. You're like going into Microsoft or going into your email from Microsoft, your life.com. That's weird because you always log into the email. You know what the password is there. It works fine. Then you log into something else from Microsoft, whatever that would be. So it doesn't look like the email. It's the website you're logging into. So, you need to log in here. And then suddenly you go, well, what is the password here now?
Right.
It doesn't work, even though, you know, it takes a minute to go, wait a minute, it's Microsoft. It's the same account as the email. The email password.
Right.
But it's not automatic at that point. I think the brain works a lot on autopilot, and we don't realize it.
Sure. And I would guess, too, if you do what they tell you to do, but, like, for instance, when it comes to passwords, they always tell you should every so few months or year or whatever it is, change your passwords and things, you know?
No, it's absolutely ridiculous.
But that's something they always tell people for security reasons. And I'm like, that could cause more problems than good if you're not on top of it.
It does. Again, up front, it looks like a good idea. You know, let's change password every month.
Yeah.
And we know if it got hacked into whatever, we're secure. Right. But it causes a problem on the end user. But by the 6 times changing it, and you can't use the old one or something.
Well, it wouldn't even. It's not a big deal if you only had like one password to change.
Right. That's the problem.
But most of us have 6 to 8 different things that require passwords.
Right.
Whether it's streaming services or
How
Microsoft.
about more like 30 things?
Yeah, and I'm lowballing it. I'm just throwing a number here, And so that's what. If you do that every month, by the time you get done, you're starting the month over doing it again.
You can't keep up with it. Plus, you get frustrated.
Yeah.
You get angry, and then it even works less good.
Yeah.
It's really, really something else. The up front, it looks good, like the face recognition. First glance, good idea. But now I try to help you. It keeps logging into my account.
Sure.
And that gets frustrating in a real short time.
Yeah, I would imagine, yeah.
Right.
Especially if you're just trying to do something simple. Now you got to go through 3 different changes to get that done because of something stupid. Yeah.
Right, and then I guess we're creatures of habit. So walking up to it and doing the same thing over and over gets real easy. You do it, you do it. But then you need to change it.
Mm-hmm.
Or it gets changed on you, or the website looks different, or they move, the login around, and it just...
just when I got it down, they changed it on me.
Right. I think but changing the password, to come back to that, you only need to change the password if it's compromised.
Gotcha.
And then, what we just realized is that... what has to be protected really good is kind of the email. Why? Well, simple. There's people that don't know their password. They go log into it and they click on forgot password. Send email to whatever.
To reset it.
So then you have a reset link in the email, and you just click on that, and you bang on the keyboard. There's several keys. You don't even know which one you do, and you're in. Now you have a new password. So you log out, and then
You
you have to
log back
log
in
back
again.
in, and you click on forgot password. I mean, there's no reason to have a password there if you go that route.
Yeah.
It sounds really kind of weird, but it works that way. So now if your email gets compromised, somebody gets in there, they can do the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
So the email is kind of important that's protected.
Sure. What when you talked about when a password gets compromised, change it. Obviously, I know a lot of people will use the same password for multiple things. So if you do that, which I don't think you should do, but if you do that, should you also change those passwords too, since it's the same password, or is that just like?
Well, if it's compromised, what happens is that if you use same password, so I find out your password, login name and password, me at something.net, whatever, with password 1234.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I think what happens then when it gets compromised, it will run me at something.net against all kinds of institutions like banks and whatever.
So they're just trial and error and see if it'll get you into other things.
Yes, you know your login name, me at Microsoft.com, and you know your password, 1234XYZ. Then the criminal, the one that has the information, can try that on First National Bank. Doesn't work there. Try it on Bank of America. Works there. Oh, this guy's with Bank of America. Let me in. So there's probably, it's all automated, I would assume, that when you pump the username and email in it, that the program runs it through all kinds of websites trying to log in. And if you have the same, there goes your bank, there goes your credit card, there goes your... And
by the way,
on.
there's our Amazon account. Let's run that up. Yeah,
well, some accounts don't matter too much. You know, I don't know how much importance Amazon have.
Well, and
I guess
like
they could
Netflix.
order on your account. Yeah, that would be bad too.
Or Netflix or something. But yeah, I mean, Amazon could be a bad one, or just order music and everything, and you're paying for it if you have a card set up to it. And I guess at the end of the day, your streaming service, who's been watching my Netflix? It's probably not that big a deal, but
well, until they start tightening this up, and then they say,
but that could be their into the other access to your stuff,
right?
So yeah,
it's basically a mess.
So basically, problem is change passwords when they get compromised,
right?
But especially your important.
Well,
that's your money. You probably
it's,
should use different passwords.
It's like a pyramid. On top is, if you use a password manager, what I can't do without anymore.
Right.
I that's the easiest way to keep track of it.
Sure.
There are several different ones. I use Bitwarden. Seems to do a good job. But it's on the phone. It's on everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of times when I was working on that tablet, I didn't have access to the Bitwarden on that tablet yet. So now you have to scramble to find your password for whatever you're logging into.
Okay.
What is in Bitwarden. So you need to set Bitwarden up first. Or like what I do is I have the phone with Bitwarden on it. I just look at what the password is and I can type it in. But remembering it, forget that. And a password book, too many changes. It doesn't...
Unless you just like writing.
Yeah, it's just about not working.
Mm-hmm.
It's partly the way the brain works and getting angry about it. And then you get the worried part.
Mm-hmm.
Can I get in today? What if I'm too late? Do they let me in? What if I lost my password? Do they let me? Oh, my God, this is important.
Yeah.
And that makes it more difficult to do.
And what happens is those things, it's never when you have time to research and fix all that. It's always at that moment where you're trying to do something right now.
Right.
And so you do the path of least resistance to get what you got to do that moment. But what ends up happening is now it screws you for the next time you're trying to go in there and do something. and the table's set that way because in essence, they always hit you at generally those times you're trying to do something real quick or just something you want to access and go on to your next thing, and you don't have time to.
Yeah,
now I'm going to have to spend a half hour getting this all fixed up before I can do the thing I'm trying to do.
I also think that what do I see here? Too many options that when the options start, when you first get options to do it, you don't understand what it wants.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, well, why can I do this? What is it for? Till you get in and get to use it and have used it for a couple of years, you kind of get That's what it is. Accounts logging into a computer. It looks kind of simple, but then it turns kind of weird because you can log in with your account in this one computer, and then I can log into the same computer with my account. You get two different computers, even though it's the same one. Now, you can do that with the Microsoft account, get logged into my Microsoft login for the computer, but then I can have you go to Google and log into Google under my account with the Google login for you. And then you can have multiple users set up in there. So under it gets really confusing in a hurry, especially if you have multiple people involved and you need to take care of them. You know, who's who now, what, where.
Yeah, especially get like the family plan thing where you want certain access to some people for some things and others, but then who can get it where. And I'm fortunately, because I don't have kids and stuff, it's me and my wife, there's not a whole lot of that going on. I think most of our accounts, I think there's very few.
Well, I got a little bit of trouble because over the years we got like 10 email accounts set up that link to different things. And the same thing you said before, laziness or too difficult or don't have to mess with it right now. I could probably eliminate some and move them over. But there's two things. What if I do it wrong? Do I lose my access to it?
Yeah.
And how do I do it? Well, they better leave it alone, you know?
It almost kind of sounds like, how, almost something that maybe computer people should do once a year, or at least like spring cleaning. Like when we always talk about in our physical lives and more, spring cleaning time to clean up your property, your art, getting everything, looking good. I almost wonder if we should have a bit of a mindset in our computer world. It's like once a year, really sit down and go through this stuff and determine what you need, don't need, and get rid of some of this stuff and keep the stuff you use. And
I've got kind of an answer on that one. Did you make your backup yet?
Right.
If the people still don't make backups,
right,
and then get upset.
I'm not saying people do it, but
so my point is that it's simple to make a backup, really, but many people don't. So the spring cleaning deal is, we should do it, but it probably won't happen.
I'm just wondering if that's something like if someone did that kind of thing, they probably would find themselves having less of these issues dealing with that, because they're like, because let's face it, we all and I know too, I'm thinking myself here, I'm like, shoot, I got a Gmail account that I have something as attached to it. I literally don't do nothing else with it, and maybe I can fit, you know what I mean? Just in my head, my own, when we're talking, I'm like, I could do some of this myself on this, And I just think all of us could do that at some modicum, especially if you're a person that has
crossed my mind to just cancel everything I do, everything. Whatever a bill comes in that I pay for, start with those, with the things you pay for.
Sure.
Cancel all of them. And then as you go along, see what you need again.
Start over, and kind of
I need to watch this on. I need then sign up with whatever, Hulu or whatever.
Yeah.
And I want to do this. I need to sign into this again. I don't know if that will work or not.
And to be honest, as we get more technologically advanced and more competition comes into the world for, access to things, it's going to get muddier. Not, you think there's going to be more or less streaming services coming out in the future. I'm sure there's going to be more, not less, and then more people sign up, and now there's another thing you got to have a password to, and it's going to get worse. So I would think that people, for your own personal sanity, maybe come up with a plan on finding a way to organize your life with some of these things. If it's a problem to you, you're going to have to address it. Sit down one day and just bite the bullet and address it.
Well, technology changes the way we deal with it in itself.
Yeah.
The coming back to the password and the phone, what I realized was that the password manager, to log in on a computer, I type in the password for it, or however I do it exactly. But on the phone, what I realized over the weekend too, on mine, I just use my fingerprint. And it opens up the password manager. So you start the password manager, says we need to log in. Push it with the fingerprint, done. Now that works pretty good until you get somebody else's phone, and then it doesn't work.
Right.
And then you need to find it again. So different technology starts making things easier, what then goes back to the older technology that either gets thrown away or updated with the same kind of thing. I keep thinking it's the like so many things in the past, the Betamax and the VHS.
Mm-hmm.
Who's gonna win? And one's better than the other one, and they fight over it. Until eventually there's just one left, and then now we look back at it, there's nothing left. Nobody uses tape.
They're
no
both
more.
gone.
Right.
They're both dinosaurs.
So, but when something new comes in, we have 4 or 5 different non-password login type of things, and messes with the phone or automatic login, however that works exactly. A pass key, a passcode, a pass whatever. Now all these things are competing, and eventually one will sort of win, and then everybody does that, and then suddenly it's like, oh, it's simple.
Yeah. But and I wonder how they're going to do that with the streaming services, because I've been wondering the same thing. It's like, man, there's a AMC, Paramount. I mean, everyone's got one now, and you know what you're starting to see is the companies combining them. Like right now, like if you sign up for like Paramount, they're going to throw in like 3 other things that's included with that. And so I'm wondering if that's where the world is. You're going to buy one and then just get them all. And
there's too much consolidation and going bankrupt and restarting up, whatever. I get a lot of them get paid on a credit card, and when the statement comes in, it was Max at Paramount, then it's Paramount Max. Then the name that bills you keeps changing. I mean, every once in a while I go,
well, the
who is
HBO
this?
app has changed like 4 times since its existence,
right.
I think. Yeah.
So eventually it will get to the point that they got that figured out, and it hopefully don't change much no more. But
well, and I'm starting to see intellectual properties bleed together. Like you're finding multiple series or a series on multiple streaming platforms. Like when these first started, it was very property centric. If it was made by Paramount, it's only on the Paramount. You're not going to find it on Hulu or Netflix.
Well,
but now you're starting to see some of the Paramount stuff float into on the Netflix.
Well, it makes sense, I'm not going to sign up with this and because of that. So can I see it over there?
Yeah.
And just like other people working together. Well, you pay me some royalties and you can show it on your platform too.
Yeah.
And that may
work. I'm just wondering if we're going to evolve to a day where our network TVs are just apps. And you just say, you want to, I mean, that's literally how we do it. Oh, go to the ABC app and they'll, you know what I mean? Like I wonder at some point where we're going to have a bit of a resurge where like consuming of television is closer to what we do before with channels, but through apps now.
Isn't that kind of what we're doing already?
Yeah, but to a point where, now that instead of that, it's these streaming, these pay-per-view ones, the Netflix. Okay, what's on the Netflix channel? What's going on the, I'm wondering if it's going to turn into that at some point, because it's got to evolve. Like, it's the Wild West right now with all this streaming stuff. It will eventually find its groove and get it to where it's, mainstream the same way everywhere. You know what I mean? I think they're working it. It's like, I'm pretty sure when network television started.
Maybe not. Look what's happening. I mean, we're just talking about what, TikTok?
Mm-hmm.
And I keep hearing, I'm older, so I keep hearing about this, that all these young folks, they're on TikTok or Instagram or whatever they're on.
Yeah.
And do they watch TV anymore? No, they don't.
No.
That thing you're talking about may already be a goner.
Yeah. Half of them watch TV, and watching TV is YouTube. That's watching TV.
Right.
Yeah. So you're right.
Now your shows are starting to end up on YouTube.
Yeah, but that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, I wonder if we're going to evolve into kind of how we watch TV now, but it's all internet app but it's even to the point where everyone's doing it. Just the young people.
Getting your information, your news, what are you interested in, whatever it is changing too. People used to watch the Paint Channel or the entertainment or the educational or whatever.
Yeah.
Now we're more watching that guy that has some followers on the internet, on his blog or his YouTube thing he does. More and more we watch more. We're still watching Leo Laporte show.
Mm-hmm.
And we watch it like it's TV. So, he comes on. This one is interesting. That has something to say. Let's listen to that.
Right.
And who suffers? The news, because I get news through him. That is more geared to what I want to hear than what comes out of the news.
Yeah. Well, and I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm thinking it could be a good thing. I guess I'm curious and excited to see how this evolves into what the end game kind of is, or how we grow to this is our new normal. I'm kind of watching that evolve as we speak.
Well, if it's like me, we're slow to get to the point. Forget it. Let's just throw it all out. Just go sit outside and have a beer or something like that.
I've kind of hit a point where, I don't want to learn any new technology. I'm like, look, I'm good right here at this phone. I don't need any more conveniences or advancements. This is good enough for me.
Well, it's the fix for the problem we didn't have.
Yeah, exactly. Look, I figure out how to get my TV channels. Don't add or I got it. I'm good. But I know that's not going to happen. But I'm at that age where that's how I feel it.
You know, how to get to it and where to get it is what's changing.
It's like, can I freeze everything in time and just do it this way? Because I got everything working. So. I just saw the time. We probably need to wrap things up. Of course, if you're having computer issues, or if you need or if you want a new computer or one built, if you have a computer that's being ornery and not talking to you or showing you the screen of death or you're in password hell, let John help you out and see if he can fix you.
I can help with a lot, not everything.
He is not a miracle worker. He's pretty good.
Well, they tell me I am, so I don't know where that lies. But
he can't make water into wine, but he's pretty good at making your computer working. So
or tell you don't fix it. It's too much money. Anyway, one note here: tomorrow we're closed. In case anybody plan on coming tomorrow, I'm out of town.
So get it done today or
today
or
I'll be here, and Friday I'll be back.
Gotcha.
If I don't get any problems going out of town, but we hope not.
Assuming everything works according to plan there, you'll be back to work Friday.
That should work that way. But
of course, he worked as far as customer service stuff. A lot of it's morning hours, 8 to about noon, Monday through Friday.
Bring it in between 8 and 12, Monday through Friday.
Yeah.
Stop by, whatever. And then in the afternoon, if you need to be there by special appointment, I may not always be there. I may be on service calls, whatever. But we do a special appointment. Has been working really good.
Absolutely, yeah. Obviously, like if you have networking, he will work on networks and things. But generally, that's when he has to do house calls because he's got to go to where the network is.
Yeah, a couple of things we need to go really to your location.
Or if say you've got a computer that needs some heavy lifting work, then that's when he tears them down and works on them, and where he's got the time and the quietness to go work on the bigger problem.
The time, you don't want me to sit and wait on downloads, whatever, for 45 minutes.
Yeah,
when,
exactly. Stuff that's time consuming. But like in the mornings when he's doing, like if you just need to, swap out a cable or just something simple, he can probably knock it out right there and you take it out with you.
Right.
But if it's a bigger issue that he's got to do some digging on.
Well, if we go out, what happens sometimes is, no, I want you to come out, and it's like, well, I'm not sure what I can do. I get out there and get just what I thought. Let me take it with me.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you might as well bring it in yourself then.
Absolutely. So, but and then of course, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to call.
Mm-hmm.
Leave a voicemail if you don't get John. John might be helping a customer doing something else. If you don't get live John there, but he will return your call if you leave a message. So leave a voicemail.
I'll do my best. I have called back a day or so later, but if I notice that there was a message left, I will call back.
He will call you back, but if you don't leave a message, he will not call you back.
It may not, depending on who I see on the phone.
He might recognize the number, like, oh, that's Bob. I need to talk to that guy.
Right.
But anyway, what's that phone number?
575-625-9141.
Good deal. And then, of course, visit Oasis Computers behind the Wool Bowl.
Yes.
They're on Garden.
Yeah. Behind the Wool Bowl. Don't confuse it with Atkinson.
That's right. I've almost got it nailed now. They're on Garden. Come by for a visit and let John and even if you want to learn more about unplugging and getting off the cable and doing all that, and you need the equipment and the information to do that, John can help you do all that too.
So we can do that.
Well, thank you, sir. Let's get back to your bevy of, I'm sure, customers waiting for you to
fix some more up.
That's right. So, and then we'll see you next month. So, appreciate it. All right, it is 7:56. Let's do this. Let me give Roy a second. We're going to do our Chaves County sports update. It is brought to you by our friends at DSI. So, let's bring that to you. You got time? You ready? Don't need to stall. Are you ready? I think he's ready. All right. 7:57, Chaves County Sports Update, brought to you by DSI.
In a time where humans and technology collide, ineffective technology plagues our businesses, schools, and healthcare environments. DSI Document Solutions has emerged as New Mexico's safeguard from the pains of slowed productivity. Providing our nation's top business technology, workflow strategies, and support, DSI is here to boost your productivity and reduce your costs. Get ready for success. Visit our new website at dsinm.com.
The Goddard Rockets are on the right side of the 500 winning percentage mark by winning a doubleheader yesterday over Ruidoso. It was 8-7 in the first game, 14-4 in the second, and Goddard is now 4-3 overall in that first game. It was 8-7 victory. Juliet Gallegos, freshman for Goddard, had a triple. Roxana Serrano, also only a freshman, 2 for 5 with a double. In the nightcap, that 14-4 victory, 3 Lady Rockets has scored home runs. Sophomore Kiana Gonzalez, Roxana Serrano once again made the news in that game. And then Jorelianis Guzman, only an 8th grader, got a home run to her credit in that ball game. Now Goddard will be taking on Deming in it looks like a tournament game, 2 o'clock on Thursday. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell Talk FM 106.5.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander. Inflation remains the chief worry for small businesses, according to a new survey showing their optimism fell last month. The National Federation of Independent Businesses Optimism Index fell to 89.4. It's been below the 50-year average of 98 for 26 straight months. U.S. single-family home building rebounded sharply, hitting the highest levels in nearly 2 years, boosted by mild temperatures and persistent shortages of previously owned houses on the market. The CEO of Airbus says Boeing's problems are bad for the entire industry, and Airbus takes no pleasure in the technical problems plaguing U.S. rival Boeing. Those comments from Guillaume Fauré. The founding family behind Nordstrom is seeking to take the U.S. department store operator private, 6 years after a similar attempt proved unsuccessful. People familiar with the matter said on Tuesday. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
No static at all. Your new home for talk radio is KEND Roswell.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. Former President Trump clarifies his stand on one of the hottest of hot-button issues.
The presumptive Republican presidential nominee is suggesting he would support a national ban on abortions around 15 weeks of pregnancy. Abortion rights have been a galvanizing issue for voters, and Trump has refrained until now from embracing a specific limit, warning that it can backfire politically. In a radio interview Tuesday with 77 WABC's Sid Rosenberg for Sid and Friends in the Morning, Trump said, "People are agreeing on 15, and I'm thinking in terms of that." He also expressed reluctance on a federal ban, saying experts agree it's a state's issue and shouldn't be a federal issue. I'm Jennifer King.
President Biden's catastrophic and ultimately deadly U.S. withdrawal from Afghanistan was a poorly planned, ill-timed, and disorganized affair. That's a congressional testimony of 2 of the generals charged with overseeing the operation. Trump-endorsed U.S. Senate candidate Bernie Moreno has won the three-way Ohio Republican primary. It was a landslide win. The on-again, off-again arrest and deportation of illegal aliens by the state of Texas is off again, hours after the Supreme Court said the Texas law could be enforced, pending a ruling by the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals. The latter court decided to block the law yet again.
The appeals court put the law on hold ahead of scheduled oral arguments today, and it's not clear how quickly the next decision might come. Under the Texas law that was put on hold, once defendants are in custody on illegal entry charges, they can agree to a judge's order to leave the U.S. or face prosecution.
Correspondent Donna Warder. Heavy fighting raging around the Gaza Strip's biggest hospital. Day 2 of the Israeli military raid aimed at rooting out Hamas terrorists. On Wall Street, stocks are lower. The Dow is down 30 points, the Nasdaq off 18, and the S&P 3 points in the red. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free, and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
Israel is not ruling out the existence of terror tunnels beneath West Bank settlements. The latest from the Media Lines Felice Friedson.
Israel's security echelon is focusing its attention on finding terror tunnels beneath the West Bank. The structures under the Gaza Strip are formidable obstacles as they allow terrorist forces to move around in secrecy and inflict large numbers of casualties, often ambushing Israeli troops seeking to neutralize them. Although tunnels beneath the West Bank have not yet been discovered, officials believe the success of the elaborate arrays of tunnels beneath Gaza and Hezbollah-infested areas of South Lebanon make the use of them in the West Bank a natural conclusion. Terrorist groups have commandeered massive amounts of cement and other building materials intended for humanitarian use to build infrastructure miles long. I'm Felice Friedson, Town Hall News, Jerusalem.
News and analysis at themedialine.org and townhall.com. If you've been to the filling station of late, this probably comes as no surprise. AAA says gas prices up about a dime a gallon over the past week.
Gas is about $3.49 a gallon this morning. A week ago, it was only $3.39, and a month ago, just $3.27. What's going on? Well, the AAA points out that demand pops with warmer temperatures and better weather. It is spring now. And then there's the arrival of summer blend gas, which the AAA says tends to increase pump prices by 10 to 15 cents. The cheapest gas is in the south and parts of the Midwest. It's $3.06 in Colorado. But if you're in California, it's $4.91 a gallon. I'm Rita Foley.
The last of the 4 suspects in a bus stop shooting of 8 Philadelphia high school students earlier this month been arrested in Northern Virginia. Marshal Service announcing the 17-year-old taken into custody at an apartment in Alexandria. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm, I'm breathing through it. Flamenco guitar, the cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The Revolution, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to our number 2.
The Deuce.
Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Hope your Wednesday's going well. Weather's nice, sunny. Gonna be a nice day.
It doesn't feel like Wednesday.
It doesn't. It feels later in the week.
It feels, like either Thursday or Tuesday to me.
Yeah, it does not feel like Wednesday, but it is, in fact, Wednesday. So happy Wednesday to everyone out there. Yeah, Tuesday didn't seem like Tuesday yesterday to me.
Wednesday feels like a steeple.
Yeah, today feels like, I keep thinking tomorrow's Friday, and it's not. So, yeah, I'm a little off kilter this weekday. And plus, it's just been a lot of off routine things going on this week, so it kind of throws that into it a little bit. Plus, it's spring break. My wife's home, which kind of makes the routine a little. I'm not complaining, but it's just different. So it makes the week feel different. It's like, oh, my wife's home here, so it feels more weekend-like than weekday-like because she's home all week. So yeah, it's just kind of a.
Oh, does spring break already hit for her?
Yeah, spring break's going on this week for Roswell, and I think Artesia as well too. Yeah, so they're all off this week. But yeah, so I think that's part of it. It just makes the week feel just slightly because the schedules are a little bit different. But nonetheless, it is officially Wednesday, so happy Wednesday, and hope all of you are good, doing well. I think I officially. Because I've been all the way into the show Resident Alien the last couple weeks here. I've now finished the first 2 seasons and they're in season 3 on Sci-Fi Channel. They're about 5 episodes into season 3 on the network. So the first 2 seasons of it are on Netflix. Season 3, you either have to watch it on Sci-Fi when it's on, or have Peacock.
I just heard about it. Like, how is it already on season 3?
Well, yeah. Sci-Fi's been running it for a couple years now, and I think, because season 3 just came out, it got hyped again, and it started showing up on, like Netflix. I think the first time I saw it on Netflix was here about a month ago, and so that said, and I remember seeing commercials for it on Sci-Fi Channel, like back when season 1, and I remember watching the trailer or the commercials thinking, that looks like an entertaining show. But it's on Sci-Fi. I don't watch Sci-Fi Channel. They usually say bad programming. So I'll wait and see. But then it showed up on Netflix, and you're like, you know what? The premise looked good. I'll give it a try. And then I just fell in love with this show.
Yeah,
because it's so well written. It's funny. It's action. It's got great plot twists. It's just a good. It's the guy, the main guy, I can't remember his name.
Alan Tudyk.
Yeah, him. He just had his birthday, by the way. I think yesterday or day before.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he was all over social media. But he's a good actor, first off. But it's just well written. He plays that alien character so well because he's uber smart, but then acts like a 7-year-old at the same time. It's just funny. You know what I mean?
Have you seen the 3rd Transformers movie, the final one with Shia LaBeouf and John Turturro?
I think I have. I think I've seen. Yeah, I think I did see that one.
Yeah,
I think that's the last one I saw.
Yeah, he's the John Turturro's assistant he had, like his little Swedish assistant or whatever, and then he's nice at first, a butler, and then he pulls out guns and stuff, and then he's like, "I am so sorry, that is the old me."
Well, he's got great If you look at his roles in previous stuff, Alan, what's his name? Whatever.
Tudy.
There's like a Y in there somewhere and a K.
Tudyk. Tudyk.
Yeah, that's it. I know there's a lot of adjectives or a lot of consonants in there. I didn't,
He's also strangely the John Ratzenberger of Disney animated stuff. Yeah. He's in every Disney animation stuff.
Is he?
He's the snowman in Frozen. He's He's King Candy and Wreck-It Ralph. He's stuff,
Well, and to be honest, him and Bethany and the other guy were the best part of A Knight's Tale to me. The three of them interacting. Because they were kind of part of Heath Ledger's group of groomsmen or whatever you call them. Or
I need
whatever.
to watch that movie.
Yeah, he's great in that. Dodgeball, still a top 10 movie for me. I watch
Steve
it
the Pirate,
and he's Steve the Pirate there, And he's done a lot of other movies and TV shows too. But
he's the robot in iRobot.
Is he?
He's Sonny. Yeah,
is it the voice or whatever?
Yeah.
Interesting, but and he's kind of got a chameleon voice. He can go British, he can go pirate. I mean, and even Resident Alien, that's a whole different voice for him. So he's kind of got range in the voice area. But anyway, I got watching it, and then I got my in-laws to watch it, and they love it because of my in-laws, I think, and me just singing the praise of this show. My wife is now wants to check it out. So
yeah, I was talking to her yesterday about it.
So
she was interested.
I think I will. When we start, I'm going to start over and watch it again. It's because it's that good. I'm willing to do that because I'm kind of excited because now I'm going to see what I missed. Now that I know stuff, I'm going to be that was there because if you're to be honest, there's a lot of stuff in the beginning that you don't think much of. that does come into play later in seasons 2 and 3. At least 2. 3 I'm not far in to tell you for sure. But
the writing seems like way better than sci-fi's normal stuff.
Oh, it's by far budget wise like even the.
But usually sci-fi is filming is that consistent.
But even like the CGI stuff is pretty good. It's not like TV's never quite as good as movies. And this doesn't have a CW feel like sometimes sci-fi shows have, or sci-fi channel shows have. So I kind of don't, but anyway,
their shows are strangely more better produced than their movies.
Yeah,
not everything is as bad as Sharknado.
Yeah, and you know what? And I've heard good things about Warehouse 13 and a couple of their older properties. I just never watched them.
Or Eureka, or
Eureka. Now, but to be honest, now that I've gone through Resident Alien, I might give Eureka a chance now, because if it's kind of like that as far as filmed and everything, I think I could get into it. So
that's a good premise of a show.
Okay, yeah, and I know it's the town and the sheriff and the town for the company, and
it's like a bunch of geniuses all living in one
like a Los
town.
Alamos type deal. But I get you. Yeah, I know the premise.
And every episode, there's a new invention.
And then the Warehouse 13, they're going solving mysteries and with libraries, and that's kind of nerd investigator. Action people, right? Yeah. I've seen trailers and commercials for them.
What got me into that show is the girl who plays the main girl is she's in the show Drake and Josh on Nick. Is she the
girl that was in the Roswell FM movie? Because one of the girls from Warehouse 13 is one of the stars of Roswell FM.
I don't think maybe I don't remember.
I think or is it Eureka? She's on one of those shows. The girl, if you ever seen the Roswell FM or seen the premise or anything for that, that movie that was filmed in our radio station in Artesia a couple years ago.
Yeah, go watch it.
It's on Amazon Prime. I watched it. I liked it way more because it was our radio station, but in the terms of movies,
yeah.
But anyway,
they tried.
Yeah, they tried. Bless their heart. But the female love interest, or kind of the co-star of that movie, she was one of the on-air personalities.
I don't think it was that
she was in either Warehouse 13 or Eureka. She was one of the stars of that show. That was one of her credits.
Okay, it probably wasn't Warehouse 13 because that woman has a very distinct face.
Gene would know because he watched both the shows and knew her very, very well.
Okay.
I didn't know.
Okay.
I knew that 70s show guy, and I knew Jason and the Argonauts, but that was about it for me. So.
The guy
from Dazed and Confused, and Jason, I can't remember that guy. And then there was the dad from that 70s show.
Yes, Bob.
Yeah, he was the general manager. Him I knew. So I better get our interview going.
Kevin Farley too.
Oh yeah, but I never got to see him because he was never in the radio station stuff. He was only at the ice cream shop.
Yeah.
So I never got to meet him or see him. I got to see everybody else, all the radio people. But yeah. We're gonna replay our interview we had yesterday with Ray Baca talking about the 76th annual New Mexico Golden Gloves boxing event that's happening this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday out at Roswell High. This was in Roswell the 75th last year, and they had but this is pretty cool stuff. So 3 days of boxing's coming up this weekend. So we had a great interview with Ray, talk a little bit about it. We're going to play that for you here in just a few. Before we do that, though, let's go ahead and get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We're in pretty nice shape for the next few days. Temperatures will be on a slow warming trend. We'll be up to about the 80-degree mark by Friday. High pressure overhead, so we get sunshine today with low 70s on the high. Maybe a few clouds drifting through overnight, low to mid 40s, and then we're in the mid to upper 70s and sunny on Thursdays. Friday, sunny and 80. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 48 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity's at 63% with winds out of the west at 5 miles per hour. Nice day today, partly cloudy, 73 for a high. Winds will be out of the northwest, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Partly cloudy tonight, expect an overnight low of 43 degrees. South winds, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Another nice day for Thursday, mostly sunny, 74 for a high. Northwest winds, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tomorrow night, mostly clear, overnight low of 47 with west winds 10 to 15. Friday, warming up a little bit more, sunny, 79, pushing 80 for a high. North winds 10 to 15 miles per hour for the afternoon. Friday night, partly cloudy, 46 for an overnight low. And then looking at the weekend, partly cloudy and 78 for Saturday. Mostly cloudy Saturday night with an overnight low of 53. Sunday is going to be windy, patchy blowing dust for the afternoon, partly cloudy, 73 for a high. And believe it or not, 20% chance of showers for Monday and breezy, 62 for a high there. All right, 8:17, we're going to take about a 2.5-minute break, and then we're going to play our interview with Ray Baca talking Golden Gloves boxing this weekend at Roswell High. That's up next.
Are you looking for something fresh, or are you trying to find that confident smile you once had? Hi, this is Dr. Sarah Usher with Carabelli Dental, and I would like to invite you to our office to experience a new kind of dentistry. We have the most advanced technology and a highly trained team to provide you the best experience possible. Whether you're looking for a bright new smile or just want to make sure everything checks out for the best, call us today and set up your appointment for your next great experience.
Come see the team at Carabelli Dental at the corner of 9th and Main in Roswell, or call 575-622-4455.
The University of New Mexico offers affordable top-tier education year after year. The New Mexico Opportunity Scholarship and free application for student aid may provide funding to pay for school. Apply to UNM and learn more about the New Mexico Opportunity Scholarship at admissions.unm.edu.
Central Valley Electric is continually learning and advancing technology that improves electric service, reliability, and safety, and in turn enhancing the quality of life for members that we serve in our local communities. CVE offers an account management program called Smart Hub that allows members to track their usage, set up convenient pay methods, and the ability to manage their energy use with smart technologies. A secure system such as Smart Hub is an easy tool to use. To sign up, visit cvecoop.org and click Smart Hub to get started.
Springtime is the perfect time to visit Martin's Jewelry and Gifts in Roswell with an unparalleled selection of jewelry and gifts for the season. Easter will be here soon. Celebrate with beautiful jewelry, medals, crosses, picture frames, and keepsake boxes too. Mother's Day is on the way, and Martin's can personalize any piece for a one-of-a-kind gift. Celebrate your graduate with gold and silver pendants, rings, earrings, chains, EcoDrive Citizen watches, and more. And with store-wide savings up to 50%, you can't lose. Layaway or right-away, spring into Martin's Jewelry and Gifts, 3301 North Main in Roswell.
Artesia General Hospital's family practice providers support the healthcare needs of every member in your family, no matter their age. With locations in Artesia and Carlsbad, our compassionate experts offer a full range of primary services and can help manage chronic conditions, treat illness and injury, and coordinate specialty care. Whether you need a medical provider for your entire family or are getting on track with your annual checkup, we're here for you. Reach out today at artesiageneral.com/family.
Chick Days are back at Roswell Livestock and Farm Supply, March 22nd and 23rd. Buy a 25-pound bag of Purina Start and Grow and get 3 free chicks, or double up and get 6 free chicks with a 50-pound bag. Plus, the Stellar Satellite will be on hand from 8 to 11 with coffee and treats, and a portion of the proceeds to benefit CASA. Then from 11 to 5, Calichi's will be there with drinks, floats, sundaes, nachos, and their famous hot dogs. Come take a peek at Chick Days, March 22nd and 23rd at Roswell Livestock and Farm Supply, 1105 East 2nd in Roswell.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Turtles can breathe through their butts. We imagine you know some people who do that too, because that's where their heads reside. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 21 minutes after 9 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning, talking a little boxing this morning, Ray Baca back with us. Good morning, Ray. How you doing today?
Good morning. I'm doing great. Excited.
We got a big weekend coming up.
Big weekend coming up. Yeah.
For folks that were lucky enough to be a part of it last year, about this time a year ago, we were talking about the 75th annual New Mexico Golden Gloves event that was happening at Roswell High. It was a 3-day big success again. We had lots of great fights, a lot of great competition, an amazing time. Well, guess what? We're doing it for the 76th annual here, and believe it or not, it's this weekend.
That's correct. We're kicking off. Actually, we're going to go sit up. We're going to go sit up on Thursday. Very fortunate with all the sponsors and everybody's been a big part of our boxing program.
Mm-hmm.
Got his brand new boxing ring.
Nice.
Brand new boxing ring.
Excellent.
So
is this a debut for the ring? Or
this is a debut for the ring.
So we got to break it in.
Yeah, we're going to break it in.
Okay.
Compliments of Mr. Crumlin.
Well, thank you to Crumlin Auto Group.
Yes.
They are a business that are always supporting this and many other things in our community.
Yes, they are. And we're truly appreciative of them.
Yeah, we do appreciate their support. I guarantee there's a lot of boxers excited to do their workouts and everything on that new ring here and get their time in.
Yeah, we really are. We've got, and we talked last year briefly about this. New Mexico Golden Gloves was started here in Roswell in 1948.
Mm-hmm.
Stan Gallup and Sertoma Club, Mr. Jim Lilly, Greg Segovia Sr.
It's got quite the history.
Willie Hall. Yes, there's so many people that were part of that, and they was here till around late 80s, early 90s, and it went away. It went to Clovis, it went to Albuquerque, and it's been gone for many years. And then last year, we were very fortunate and able to bring it back to Roswell, New Mexico for the 75th anniversary where it all started.
And to be honest, it needs to be back. I think New Mexico needs boxing because particularly for some youth, this is their ticket to whatever they want to do next. It is, even if it's not boxing, it gave them the skill sets to do what they want to do next. It gave them the confidence. It gave them the maturity. It gives them the ability to think on their feet, to solve problems. When you gotta figure out a problem and you got seconds to figure it out, it tends to make you think a little faster and do little things. So the skill sets that the boxing teaches will translate wherever they go, even if they don't pursue careers in boxing or end up doing something in boxing as adults. That the stuff they're learning, the stuff they're doing now is going to serve them well as adults regardless of what they do.
That's very well stated.
Yeah.
You think about you're right there. It's just you and that other person. There's
Mm-hmm.
nobody around. You have other team sports, which we truly support the other team sport as well, because it is also a team sport. Because at the end of the day, you're gathering points for your team,
Sure.
so you can win as a team. But first and foremost, you're under, like I said, all of those little things that are part of life.
Sure.
The preparation, the commitment.
Well, even your trainers and coaches, they're seeing things that you're not seeing from your perspective in the ring. And so that's part of that team too, because you've got to work in concert with your trainers, your cut men, all those your people in your corner. These are your mentors, the people that are, when they're seeing the fight, they're the ones that, okay, I'm seeing what you're doing out there. You're going to have to adjust accordingly, and so they're on your team helping. So it's very much, even the sports that you think are individual sports, they're all team sports because there's no one person that can do it by themselves without a team of people helping them along the way.
With that being said, I remember Mr. Hall, the great Willie Hall Sr. You go in there and you're fighting and you come back to the corner, and one special deal was that, you prepare for certain things throughout the course of the week. For example, I was scheduled to fight a main event at a local boxing match, just a one-night thing, but they're always trying to find the match. So he tells you, this is how we prepare. And you start preparing for that, and then something happens during the course of the match, and then all says, okay, we're going to change it just a little.
Well, it's kind of like the Mike Tyson quote: "Everybody's got a plan until you get punched in the face." It literally in boxing, that's what's going on.
and you get guys like the Halls and all these great coaches, and they make those adjustments, and that's what again, it's a team thing, and that's going to make a difference whether you win or lose. And you got those 3 runs as amateurs, and you have to adjust as the fight develops.
Sure, absolutely, and that's the great part about this is they get to they learn all that stuff, and obviously these kids have a passion for boxing because that's where the love is, and because there's that love there, the dedication and effort and all the things you're trying to teach them are going to resonate better because there's a love for it. You know what I mean?
Like
they have a desire to get better, a desire to want to be a champion or to be to be able to be a good boxer. And so they understand. Once they have that, then you've got them, and then you can mold them and shape them the way you want them. And so that to me is so cool. And that's where, like these people you're mentioning, that's why they're so great, because at the end of the day, they're not molding boxers. They're molding
lives,
human beings that are going to be our next, business owners, mayors, all of those people that, make our lives better and are part of our lives. That's what you're creating, and that's what you're fostering and mentoring the next generation of that. And then guess what? Some of them are going to be you sitting here coaching those kids and doing this, when you're tired of doing it. That's part of the tradition and part of it. So, I love all that stuff. That's, so when you come out and see 3 days of these kids and young men and women working and boxing and doing their thing, you're seeing the history that Ray's talking about going in with that. And you're seeing, and like you said, yes, we had a hiatus for a long time of this stuff, but the traditions, the things what make Golden Gloves boxing important and why it has 76 years of history behind it is what you're going to see Friday, Saturday, and Sunday on those rings.
That's very true. Like we're talking about, there's so much tradition here in Roswell and throughout the state of New Mexico. Boxing is a big thing. It truly is a big thing. Mm-hmm. I think a lot of times, as you look at the pro levels, like the bigger cities, like give you an example, like Las Cruces, and then you have Albuquerque, and Albuquerque has a great program down there. And they have all these professional fighters, as does Las Cruces.
Sure.
And Las Cruces is down the street from El Paso.
Mm-hmm.
And somehow they do well. We've done well there. We've done well in Albuquerque. But here, we do great as far as the people that come out.
But you want more involved. You need a bigger batch of people to come out and check this stuff out.
Oh, yeah.
So come, maybe if you're interested, maybe you have young children that maybe want to pursue boxing as a sport passion and perhaps a career. Who knows? But come out and bring them to the fights this weekend. Come sit ringside and see some great fights. It's 3 full days of some of the best fighting action you'll see in the state of New Mexico here with some great amateurs and young up. Who knows? You might see the next. Who knows? You might be fighting this weekend. The next. Who knows? Sugar Ray Leonard or Marvelous Marvin Hagler. It might be you see
in the
him,
making.
In the making,
they're
sitting
in the making.
here, or Floyd Mayweather sitting there. You never know. It's just that's the beauty of this of seeing this, and you get to see the hard work and effort, and you see, especially because boxing also provides that platform for kids that maybe think they didn't have an opportunity in these platforms.
That's very true.
Where boxing is that one where because anybody can do chess and golf and things, but it's certain people like, well, that's not for me or whatever. Where boxing is like, that's where it resonates with me. That's something it's more street level to them, and they resonate and find more ownership in that.
That's very true.
Yeah,
and like you're saying, you have this these young men, and where do you go? And you're learning. You got to do all that road work, and you're out there running miles and miles and miles and you push yourself a little harder, and you push yourself a little harder. And then you do your exercises, you do all your calisthenics, whatever. And now you're starting to spar these guys that you're preparing with you. And then sometimes during the course of the night, you're gonna take a butt whipping.
Sure.
And that just in practice alone.
You will get knocked down in boxing. I guarantee it. At some point, you will get knocked down.
But you keep fighting, and you keep fighting, you keep pushing, keep pushing, and you overcome. Then I said, I can take that next step or the next 10 seconds because you do get tired and then you see the end result and goes, oh my, I got this.
Well, that's what makes it beautiful is it is hard for a reason. But when you overcome it,
exactly
the sense of accomplishment, the confidence, all of a sudden you have a young person that maybe was a little apprehensive about their skills or their abilities. Right. And now with that victory, because they busted their butt to get where they got to do, they now have the confidence. They also understand what it takes to get your goals and understand the value of hard work. That's the best thing it teaches. That is they had the nights of getting their butt kicked and blood, sweat, and tears,
right.
and they're about to fall over because they've been running for their 10th mile here. Those are the moments when you get through that. And you achieve your goal, that's when you say, you know what, it makes sense. And that applies to any other aspect of their life. If they say, you know what, I want to be a lawyer now. Well, now they're going to apply that same vigor to go and get in their law degree. to go be a lawyer, and that's what boxing teaches.
That preparation to be whatever you want to be. Right?
It's hard, but when you have the success, that's the reward, and that's the light bulb moment that they understand. Hard work, dedication equals rewards, and boxing is one of the few things in this world that at its core can show you that at a very, very rudimentary level. You know what I mean? And so
very well stated. Yes.
Yeah, it is what it is. So come out now. Even if you're maybe not into saying you want to box and stuff, but if you're looking for some fun this weekend and want to see some great sports and stuff, I'm telling you, got some great fighters. The best fighters from all around the state are going to be in Roswell, New Mexico this weekend.
That's correct.
And ages, weight classes, you're going to see it all. It's 3 full days. Like Friday night, 5 p.m. is when the first bell will happen.
That's correct.
And then 1 o'clock Saturday, 1 o'clock Sunday, and then it's going to be all afternoon Saturday and Sunday of fighting and stuff. I'm guessing Sunday is probably going to be more your championship matches.
That's correct.
You're kind of weeding them out Friday and Saturday, and then you'll see your championship matches on Sunday.
The best of the best on Sunday.
So, I am now. That being said, don't wait until Sunday to go, because you're going to see a lot of great boxing, and plus, if you're interested in learning more and meeting the people, come Friday. Come, because it'll be obviously. You'll see some of the less experienced fighters fight.
Right.
You'll see all skill levels. So if you watch Sunday and you're like, oh, man, those guys are pretty good, it took a while for them to get there. They didn't start out that way.
Yes.
Practice makes perfect.
That's
Come
very
see
true.
Friday where some of the newer fighters and things.
Yeah.
You'll see all the levels. So you get to see the ones that are first starting out and seeing the fundamentals of fighting being practiced, to people that are just about ready to make that step into the professional ranks of boxing.
And you have, like you said, we've got them from the 10-year-olds on up, and you will see all levels, and you'll be surprised and amazed at some of these younger kids that have been fighting for so long, and you're like, oh my, this kid is only 12 years old or 11 years old, whatever.
And again, it gets you back to that point. It's like, man, these kids are pretty tough. They're pretty resilient. They're very smart. I mean, you see. Like, it'll restore faith in humanity by seeing these kids persevere and do their hard work and overcome their win, lose, or draw.
That's
when you see these kids out there, it's kind of a sense of. I mean, it's fun to watch, but it's a sense of like, all right, maybe our future generation's in good hands after all. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's very. And we have, like I said, we have really Les Roswell's boxing is going. We have Bully Boxing, Baron Boxing, and Youth Nation. We got 3. Teams here. They're young, but they're coming up, and there's something that you'll see in the future.
And if you want to learn more, come. The boxing teams will be there. You can talk to the groups and things.
Correct.
If you're interested in becoming a part of their team and things like that, don't hesitate to talk. I mean, obviously not in the middle of a fight, but when there's down times and things, they love to talk to you more about that kind of stuff. But yeah, when they're fighting, they're a little busy at the moment. Let them do their. I do want to ask a question too about because you're talking about how fighting's doing well in Cruise and some of our bigger cities. For folks that don't know, Albuquerque has a big MMA side too. When in the terms of MMA, Albuquerque is kind of one of those meccas for that kind of stuff. I'm gee whiz curious. Does that help or hurt boxing in Albuquerque? Because I imagine it could go either way, where people love fighting sports and things like that, but do they gravitate towards MMA and maybe less with boxing, or is it no, I need the boxing to get better at MMA, or they're using it as a tool to get better at one or the other?
Yeah, and I think you're right. I think that they're going to make that decision whether they want to do the MMA, and they complement each other.
Sure, but I was just wondering, like, does that help or hurt boxing in Albuquerque, or? Because I could see it could go either way, and I wasn't sure how that went. I was just kind of curious what you guys are seeing.
And like you said, they really have that some really great fighters in the MMA there in Albuquerque. But then they also have like 2 or 3 world champions out of Albuquerque at this moment.
Well, I mean, you hear John Bones Jones, you hear his name a lot here, but there's others that I mean, Holly Holm is a big name here as well too that people know.
There's a young man out of Albuquerque, Abraham Pettis, and he's a IBA champion, world champion right now as we speak. And then there's a couple more, and I can't think of their names off the top of my head. These are world champions here in the state of New Mexico.
That's amazing.
And they fought in this same tournament.
And that's just that they're proponents for the sport too. They're the ones that say, see what this comes for some of these folks. But that's the beauty of this boxing too. Even if they choose not to go that path, the boxing, the things they're learning at that age, is going to serve them well when they're in their 30s, 40s, 50s, and you know, and all that good stuff. But please come, and here's the thing, it's a cheap night. Tickets are cheap. For children 5 through 17, $5. $10 for adults. Veterans and seniors, $7. And that's for each night there. And you're going to see a whole night and all day of boxing for $5, $10, or whatever you pay.
If you want to get entertained, come down here.
And to be honest, all that money goes to support Golden Gloves and foster the next generation of boxing kids and making sure there's a 77th, 78th, 79th, 80th, and 100 annual Golden Gloves event.
Once people are long gone, this thing is just going to carry on.
Absolutely. So, again, it's going to be this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, March 22nd, 23rd, and 24th. All the boxing matches, the whole weekend's going to be at Roswell High Gym there. Come check out the brand new Golden Gloves ring. Thanks to Crumlin for making that happen. So you come see that in use for its first time.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Friday night, first bell at 5 p.m. So you want to get there and get you in your seats before first bell. 1 o'clock Saturday and Sunday for first bell there. And can they get tickets in advance or just at the door?
Just buy them at the door.
So just come with your $5 or $10 or $7 at the door and come enjoy great. And trust me, come Friday, see the up and comers and youth, but make sure you come and see the championship matches on Sunday too, and everything in between. You're gonna want to see all the matches because it's a lot of fun.
Let me just share really another thing that I really wanted. People like Richland, there's so many sponsors. There's so many people that help make this possible.
Yeah.
We have a board of directors that I'm part of, and we have a Roswell committee, and we have all these sponsors, Richland Motors, and they just go on and on and on, and they're just a big part of making this thing possible for
There's
all
a reason.
of these,
the reason the 76th annual is happening is because of these businesses, these sponsors,
individuals.
And they believe in the product. And that's, to me, when you have a lot of sponsors, that's also a testament to how good the product is. You know what I mean?
I
yes,
agree with
the sponsors make the magic happen. But when you have a bunch of sponsors that support and continue to support,
that's correct.
That is a testament to how good the program is. Because at the end of the day, and I say that a lot, but if the program's not good, people will stop supporting. You know what I mean? They eventually well say, you know what, why my money's not going to something I really think is a good thing. So the fact that they continuously do this year in and year out proves that
it's working. Yeah,
this is a cool thing, and trust me. You're seeing history. You're seeing the next generation. You're seeing old and new all coming together for a weekend of coolness here. Just seeing the history and the legacy and prestige of Golden Gloves boxing with the newness of these new young up and coming fighters. These kids that are looking to create their path in the world. Watch them on their progress this weekend. And by the way, you're going to see some great boxing action too. If you love sports and you love the thrill of competition, it's going to be 3 full days of just fun boxing action, watching these kids pour their hearts out in the ring.
Very true, Mike. That is very well stated, because it's like you said, you have to have a passion for it, and like in any sport, and especially in one such as this, because it takes a lot of demand. It's very demanding.
Not to mention, it takes a lot of guts to get into the ring and fight. And like we talked about it being a team sport, and it very much is a team sport, but even in football and soccer, you have 10, 11, 9 other people on the pitch, on the court, on the field with you. In boxing, it's you and your opponent. Yeah, you have your people in your corner, but they ain't in the ring with you. They ain't the ones getting the punches and taking the punches and giving the punches. And so it does take it's you're proud of these folks for even just stepping in the ring and saying, I'm willing to put myself here to do this.
There was a young man years ago, fought first fight, took a good butt whipping, second fight, same thing, finally won a close fight, and then turned around and lost his butt again. And he's like, I talked to him and says, what am I doing here? I says, do you enjoy what you're doing? You just got to keep on keeping up. It'll come. You got to put your faith and trust in your work and your coach and just keep doing what you're doing.
Sure. And then some days you get it. Sometimes you get got. It just happens.
After that, kid won like 20 fights in a row.
Nice. Well, and
it just kind of like.
Well, and I think for young people, it's establishing the routine, and it's like finding the formula, and then once that formula's in place, it's just following it.
Right.
And tweaking it as needed,
And tweaking it as needed.
Yeah.
And you make those adjustments just like you do in life.
Yeah.
You make those adjustments, and you get the chance to grow and prosper.
Yeah. But, it's kind of, and it's like any other thing. You find success one way, but sometimes the success didn't work that way,
Yeah.
And so, it's like, well, I did it this way this time, and now I got my butt kicked. What happened? Well, because they had a counter to that. Now you got to have a counter to their counter for this counter, and that's where you get the next level. And that's, they're always designing the new mousetrap, but there's always someone right behind them finding an escape for that mousetrap. That's just life in general. And boxing's no different.
Yeah, exactly. And that is life. It truly is.
Yep.
And as you're preparing to this, as you start, you're preparing to this. And all these young men that we're working with that are part of these committees and these coaches and all these people, they went through the same darn thing themselves. And that's why they're special.
Absolutely. And that's why they know exactly what they've been there, done that. So when that kid's in the ring and having the hard moment, it's like, I remember that day. Let me help you through it.
Also, let me also add is that the winners in the open class.
Okay.
The winners in the open class of the state Golden Gloves tournament will advance to the regional tournament in this will be, I think it's April 12th in Denver.
Okay.
And so the regional is like because there's 38 franchises throughout the country.
Okay.
So New Mexico, Colorado is the franchise.
Okay, that's our region.
That's our region.
We cover these two states.
Yeah, so when the winners here will go to Denver and fight for the regional championship. The winners from there, the Colorado and New Mexico, those guys will advance in May for the National Golden Glove Tournament.
Okay.
To be held in Detroit, Michigan.
Ooh, Detroit. Okay,
Yes,
cool.
Yeah. Last year, the regionals were in Philadelphia.
Okay.
The Nationals
were in Philadelphia.
Nationals are in Philadelphia.
Does New Mexico get to host regionals sometimes, or is it always in Colorado?
Every other year.
Okay.
We hosted it.
So next year it should be in New Mexico.
It comes back to New Mexico.
Nice.
Last year we hosted it in Albuquerque.
Well, maybe Roswell get to host it one year.
Well, you know what?
We got a new ring now.
and I'm kind of like I have a little bit of pull now, so maybe we'll try to get it back to Roswell.
Well, that'd be great because, like you said, we want to foster that passion for boxing here and get that rekindled here, and it takes just events like this. It starts with come out this weekend.
That's right.
Come get the bug and come get addicted to watching and seeing and being a part of boxing. And we get one or two people each weekend, getting addicted. Next thing you know, we got a community of boxers in there and here doing it. So but come out. It's gonna be 3 days of fun. Come see this. Come cheer these kids on. Root them on. Cheer their successes. Cheer them when they fail too, because these kids are busting their hump and they learning to win and learning to lose are two very valuable lessons that some kids are going to be learning this week.
And that's and like you said, that's like you said earlier, that's life.
It is. It is.
And again, we always tell you only get out of what you put into it.
Absolutely.
And,
but you're making great adults in the process here. That's all.
Yes.
So come have fun and do this. And then if you have any questions, you can call Ray directly here, 575-910-2222. If you're just hearing about it and say, hey, I know, can I sponsor in some way? If you want to donate money to help the cause, Ray would be happy to. We can't help out with advertising at this point because the event's in 2 days here. But we would be very greatly appreciated. And, of course, for the 77th annual, we'll make sure we get you covered. But please, or if you have any questions about the event in general, or maybe you're listening and say, hey, I hear about boxing. Who here locally do I contact to get my kid in boxing? Obviously come out to the event Friday, Saturday, and Sunday and do that.
Sure,
but if you want to learn more a little bit before then, don't hesitate to talk to Ray, and Ray will be happy to.
By all means, yes.
Yeah, he'll love talking boxing with you.
and I'll push in the right direction. Guide you to these coaches, and these guys are here to help, and they're doing a great job with
Absolutely.
Our kids.
Yeah, and you know what? I would imagine any boxers out there that want to maybe get back into coaching and mentoring youth that maybe haven't done it in a while, maybe. We'd
love to have them.
We always looking for more mentors involved too, because the more mentors is the more youth you can help.
And see, a lot of these coaches, especially here locally, they themselves were out there they know they've been there. They know exactly.
They've had the nights where they've taken their beatings and given their
right.
beatings and
giving them, taking them,
giving them and taking them and as a boxer, you're going to at some point in your time, whether it's amateur in high school or if you make a career out of it, you're going to get beatings and you're going to take beatings. It's just
that's just part of life. Exactly. That's very true.
And what you do is what you do when you get up. And literally, this is all the little euphemisms you say. When you get knocked down, it's not about getting knocked down. It literally here in boxing is
you gotta get back up.
You get back up here. What you do about it.
That's right.
Excellent. Did we get it all raised or anything we missed that we wanted to share?
We just want to thank everybody. Thank our community. Thank you.
Anytime.
Thanks. There's so many people that are part of this process.
We will. We will have video available. You can watch the video and stuff live, but I really want you to be at the event. So, I mean, if you can't make it, because you're working or maybe you can go one day, but you got to work one day, and we will have it on KSVP TV to watch
correct.
and streaming. But I really, really, if you can make it, be in the Roswell High Gym, get ringside. It's a much better experience than watching it on video, but B, you're supporting the boxing in the event by you coming and buying tickets. You're supporting the next Golden Gloves event by doing that. So yes, if you have no other way to check this out, then you can check us out on KSVP TV. However, be at the event. Go there live and then watch it on demand later.
That's correct.
That's the way you can do it. And boxers, you can go back and study your tape, see how you did and all that. We'll have it there. And so I imagine all these coaches and stuff are going to be looking at some of that tape too. So.
For sure.
But we will be streaming at KSVP TV. But like I said, get your butt in Roswell High Gym this weekend because that's you're supporting directly by doing that.
And at KSVP, we truly do appreciate you guys.
Well, we're so glad that we get to do this stuff because this is especially because we do. We want the sport of boxing. It just feels right in Roswell. It's like this is a place where boxing should be. You know what I mean? It's part of the culture and heritage of New Mexico and Roswell here, and for youth to not have access to that kind of stuff or enough access to that kind of stuff is something we need to do about that because
that's very true.
Not all kids resonate and do things the same way. Some art is their key to making it click. Others is you hand them a book and say read it and they're good to go. Others, it's you need to learn the lessons through sport, through group activity, through things like this. And so I think you hit all the different ways a child can be impacted and inspired when you offer more here, because not all kids learn in school the same way they teach and things like that. And let's face it, boxing is a sport that attracts to people that maybe have been beat up a little bit, that are living a life where there's a lot of struggle, a lot of things. And let's face it, a lot of people tell them they can't do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so boxing is just by nature a sport that people that deal with that gravitate to. And so that's why to me it's even more important to have it available than even soccer or some of the other quote unquote popular, more mainstream sports out there. Because I think boxing will hit a sector of the population that these can't hit, if that makes sense.
And it really does. And like you said, it's a sport that you can overcome. You can truly overcome, and it's within you. You just got to make that decision.
Absolutely.
And the other thing that you touched on that I love to hear is it's an art. Mm-hmm. If you really look at a good fighter and watch him as he fights and how he progresses, it really is an art to be able to move in
mm-hmm.
with your quick feet, quick hands. If you have to hit, you can hit hard. It's an art. It's like it's synchronized on.
Sure.
It's a thing of beauty to me. I like watching this. Oh my God, look at this kid.
Well, and it's like one of those things like, you have, and boxers are all different. You have your bruiser types that are just throw them till they drop somebody. And then there's the technique guys. And I would argue if, weight classes are the same and everything.
They really are.
The technique guy is going to beat the brawler every time because they have more tricks in the bag. They have to adjust on the fly. Where a brawler generally don't have a lot of, it's a one-trick pony. They're gonna brawl you until they run out of gas. Whereas the person that studies the technique, that does the things, if I need to brawl, I can brawl, but when that's not working, I need to get a little trick and dance or counter with some different combinations, find the patterns here and find ways to get through the patterns and get a chance to crack into that armor a little bit. And so
you said that really well, Mike.
yeah, that's really what boxing is. It's strategy. It's no different than chess, except for you're getting hit instead of a piece getting knocked over. That's the only difference. It's the same thing. It really is. It's you measuring your opponent and deciding what they're doing and countering it to either protect you or go on the attack to take them out. And that's what you're doing here. And through that, these youth are learning to translate those same skill sets into what happens when my so-and-so didn't show up for work this morning. How are we going to figure out how to get that done? By the way, we had a house fire last night, and so now we can't do it. How are we going to figure out how to do this? That by these kids getting their butt kicked and kicking butt and boxing, they're setting the table to learn and to be able to make those decisions down the road. And that's what it is. And that's what that art form you talk about.
Sure.
If you study the fighting techniques and the history, martial arts are called martial arts for a reason. And boxing is very much, different technique, but same vein,
right.
same end game here on some of this stuff. And so you're right. It's an art form. It's a dance. It's a to and fro. Yeah. It's a choreographed thing that's going on there.
Oh yeah.
Even if you don't necessarily understand it, it's very much there.
And the thing about it, like you said, is that, and when you're first learning, you're just kind of learning the game. But when you see it, when you really start to learn the game, then you see it. It's oh my God, did you see that young man?
Yeah.
Or that young lady.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, these
I'm about to say, yeah, I say
these young ladies
there's
as well.
women and men. It's a equal opportunity sport here.
That's
you get your butt kicked or kicked butt as a woman or a man, don't matter. but it's such a great thing and such a great.
Right.
I want to ask you a boxing thing before we go, not to do with the Golden Gloves, because I'm just gee whiz curious because I have an opinion, and this is kind of a big deal in boxing. Some will look at it as a show. Others might think, but obviously, this whole Jake Paul and Mike Tyson fight that they're going to do in July.
Yes.
For me, as a guy just like watching stuff, I'm like excited to watch this. But from a boxing perspective, do y'all look at this as a good thing, or do you think it's kind of a joke to the sport? I'm just kind of curious what boxers think of this kind of stuff.
You first of all, you have to respect Mike Tyson because he was such a great champion.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
to be honest, I think Mike Tyson's going to kick butt in that ring.
I think you're right.
I think people are underestimating a 60-year-old man in the ring and don't realize how just, especially you and I have seen him in his heyday.
Oh yes.
And that man is that man. If you get his mindset that way, you do not want to be in his crosshairs. He will destroy you. Yeah. But to me, for me, I want to see that. But as a boxer, as purist, as the art of the sport, do you look at it as a good thing, or is this cheapening the sport to you? And I was curious about that.
I don't necessarily cheapen it, because it's a form of entertainment.
Sure.
It's just a form of entertainment, but
to be honest, I think if Tyson whooped his butt, it's a testament to boxing. Because I'm not to take anything from Jake Paul and everything, but he's kind of tried to make it like anybody can box. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's not.
And he tried to, and he got to fight Floyd Mayweather, and now they're like, well, Floyd Mayweather and Mike Tyson are not even remotely the same boxer, and to stay in 12 rounds with Floyd Mayweather is not as big an accomplishment as staying 3 rounds with Mike Tyson. It's just not the same thing. But so to me, to see Mike Tyson come in there and literally show this kid what's up, to me is like saying, is a note to other boxers saying, stop trivializing my sport.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And but then part of me says, if Jake Paul is really a good boxer and all that, maybe it is the other way, and says, you know what? Someone might look at that and say, look, I'm just a schmo, and now I'm a real boxer. And so it's a double-edged sword with me.
The only point, like I said, it's a form of entertainment, but I think if you get a Mike Tyson in his prime, this young man would be like, So he's.
I wouldn't even give it 90 seconds.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. It's not something I'm gonna look forward to.
All I'm glad is I'm not paying any more money for a Mike Tyson pay-per-view fight, because you get 90 seconds and pay $100 for that thing.
Oh my God.
Thank God this thing's on Netflix, and if you have Netflix, you can watch it. But
yeah,
I learned my lesson years ago. You don't pay full price for a Mike Tyson pay-per-view because odds are that fight will be over in 3 minutes.
That's right too. Yeah, what he did to Michael Spinks.
Oh yeah.
I never thought that because I saw Michael Spinks fight at the national tournament in.
And these are great
Knoxville,
boxers. These are pure boxing people that he just eviscerated. That's what makes it. This isn't schmoes that he beat. These are best in the game that he made look like amateurs. That's why Mike Tyson's such a big deal. And so I'm very curious to see how this plays out in July. So,
well, I saw that video and if nobody doctored that video, that kid shouldn't get in there.
Yeah, he might. Good luck getting insurance right now with that guy because he might have problems. But I just saw the time. We better go. But Ray, thank you very much. Come out this weekend again. Friday, 5 p.m. first bell. Saturday and Sunday, 1 p.m. first bell. Tickets are available at the door. $10 for adults, $5 for kids 5 through 17, seniors and veterans, $7 to get in there.
Roswell High School.
Roswell High Gym is the place to be, 500 West Hobbs if you're not familiar with where it's at. And come be there for First Bell Friday.
Looking forward to it.
Awesome.
Look forward to having the community come out. Thank you guys all again. And thank you so very
Anytime.
much.
And if you can't absolutely make it, we will have the games, the matches for you at ksvptv.com. There'll be a Golden Gloves boxing channel there. Just click on that and away you go. So thank you, Ray, as always.
Thanks,
and we'll see you here next time. And we need to get you in between the years just to maybe if we get a few boxers, up-and-comers that are kind of training, maybe we can interview them and spotlight them a little bit on the show.
We can do that. The other thing we got coming up, but that's in September. I think I've shared with you that we also host the New Mexico Boxing Hall of Fame here in Roswell.
Okay.
In September, September 29th. So,
okay.
So we can maybe
Well, definitely get on the radar. Definitely we'll get close to that too. So, thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Have a great day.
All right, 9:58. Quick break before they kick me off the radio because I got past 10 to get salty. So, quick break and we'll wrap up. Don't go away.
Eager beavers were able to explore various sections of the building and interact with the equipment and tools used by emergency responders. Monday, the Supreme Court rejected an appeal from a former New Mexico County Commissioner who was thrown out of office over his participation in the January 6th riots at the U.S. Capitol. Former Otero County Commissioner Coy Griffin, a cowboy pastor who rode to national political fame by embracing then-President Donald Trump with a series of horseback caravans, is the only elected official thus far to be banned from office in connection with the Capitol attack, which disrupted Congress as it was trying to certify Joe Biden's 2020 electoral victory over Trump. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. As the southern border remains wide open,
a federal appeals court puts a Texas immigration law back on hold. Late Tuesday night, a 3-judge panel at the 5th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals voted 2-1 against an earlier ruling from another panel that put the law titled SB 4 in effect. SB 4 would allow Texas police to arrest illegal immigrants. Arguments are set to be heard this morning on Texas' request to put the law back into effect. Tasha Stevens reporting.
Someone who knows a thing or two about keeping peace on the world scene, former President Trump says Russia's invasion of Ukraine would not have happened had he been in the White House.
I don't blame anybody other than Putin, and I don't blame anybody other than the people involved. But Biden was so bad in terms of not stopping it. He could have stopped that easily, but everything he said was almost the opposite of what he should have been saying. He is not much of a chess player. They're good at cheating on elections, but they're not good at a lot of other things, that I can tell you.
Mr. Trump talking with the Salem Radio Network's Dr. Sebastian Gorka. Republican California state lawmaker Vince Fong has advanced to a May runoff to decide who will complete the remainder of the term of former House Speaker Kevin McCarthy. Irish Prime Minister Leo Varadkar says he'll be stepping down as leader of the country just as soon as a successor is chosen. North Korea claiming a successful test of a solid fuel engine for its new type intermediate range hypersonic missile. It's a more powerful, harder to detect missile. With the official arrival of spring comes the launch of the Major League Baseball season. The LA Dodgers beat the San Diego Padres 5-2. The first regular season game was held in South Korea. Watching Wall Street, the Dow is up 36 points and NASDAQ down 5 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call low-cost airlines. Their prices are direct from the airlines, and they're so low you can't find these fares published anywhere. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, they can help you get there cheaply and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call right now for the lowest travel prices anywhere and for great last-minute travel deals too.
Call 866-755-5300. That's 866-755-5300. Again, that's 866-755-5300. Call us right now.
The European Union capping some duty-free imports and some Ukrainian agricultural products.
The announcement was made as the EU extended duty-free access for Ukrainian imports for another year. That's been welcomed by the Ukrainian Prime Minister, Denis Shmyhal, who said it would allow Ukraine to support its producers. The duty-free imports were brought in after Russia's full-scale invasion to support Ukrainian agriculture, which has largely kept the country's economy afloat.
The BBC's Alice Adderley. Price rises in the UK eased more than expected last month, raising expectations that the Bank of England could start cutting interest rates in the next few months. The Office for National Statistics says inflation, as measured by the UK's Consumer Price Index, fell to 3.4%. That's its lowest level since September of 2021, and it was down from 4% inflation in January. News and analysis at townhall.com. Punishment for a medical professional who sullied himself and his profession.
Nurse practitioner Jeffrey W. Young Jr., who called himself the Rock Doc, has been sentenced to 20 years in prison for illegally prescribing thousands of doses of opioids, including oxycodone and fentanyl. Federal prosecutors said the prescriptions were given in return for money and sex. Young, who was sentenced in federal court and was convicted about a year ago, operated a clinic in Jackson, Tennessee. Young was among 60 people indicted in April 2019. Authorities said the defendants included 53 medical professionals tied to some 350,000 prescriptions and 32 million pills. I'm Norman Hall.
A Georgia man convicted of killing an ex-girlfriend 30 years ago is scheduled to be put to death today. It'll be Georgia's first execution in more than 4 years. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder, and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm, I'm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The abolition, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3.
Tracy Verno.
Of Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell Talk FM. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Hope all of you are having a wonderful day thus far. Hey, you may have heard that interview last hour. Don't forget, 76th Annual New Mexico Golden Gloves this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. First bell Friday is at 5 p.m. First bell Saturday and Sunday, 1 p.m. And all matches are at Roswell High. You can get tickets very cheap. Get them at the door. Adults just $10. Children 5 through 17, $5. Veterans and seniors pay only $7. And it's going to be a lot of fun. See some of the best young up-and-coming boxers in the state compete at the Golden Globes here this Saturday. So, and then go back. You missed my interview with Ray. We played last hour. And, you can go back and check it out at KSBTV.com. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, something most people don't know is that there's going to be a lot of kids boxing too.
Oh yeah, it's all high school. I mean, younger. Yeah, this is youth
like
boxing.
I mean like 6-year-olds.
Yeah, like little kids
like,
too. It goes from that to your right up to being professionals almost. You know, they go right to.
So it's not going to be all just adults.
Well, and that's why it's 3 full days of boxing. It's a lot, and then of course they'll have the championship matches Sunday there. But you want to catch all 3 days of boxing because it's going to be a lot of fun seeing these kids from all over the state competing here in the Golden Gloves, and it's just a lot of fun. So I invite you to check it out this weekend if you get a chance. So
my problem with saying the Tres Inviernos is like because I'm half Mexican and I speak Spanish.
Yeah.
I have a problem like speaking Spanish.
Like you don't know it, or you just don't. Like I don't even know what it means. That's something Sean invented.
Well, no, I know Spanish.
3 winners is what it's supposed to mean, but I have no idea what it actually means.
No, yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. It's just like I'm fluent in it and everything.
Are you?
Yeah.
You can speak Spanish?
Yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah, because my mom was Mexican. So
I just never
grew up
seen you or heard you do any Spanish, so I just never thought anything about it.
Yeah, I grew up learning both languages.
Okay, so you're fluent in Spanish. Like you could have a conversation in Spanish, and know what's going on and converse and give back, and they'd understand you.
Yeah,
nice. Can you write it too, or just speak it?
I can. Yeah, I learned how to write it in high school.
Nice.
Because I took Spanish 3 and stuff like that.
Shoot, you ought to tap into that, man. People that can speak bilingually can kind of do a lot of stuff like that.
Yeah. I have a problem with just like speaking it on command though.
Yeah.
Like just saying like like speaking it because I feel like I have to hide it my Mexican accent or something. Like,
why?
I don't know. It's just
you don't
weird.
have to. It's you. You do you, brother.
Because I can just do it, you know?
Yeah.
Like, but I feel like I have to like put the American accent on it, you know, like say it like any other American would.
You say it how you want to say it. What's you? You know, you do you. That's you. You know.
So it's like I have to say Tres Inviernos instead of
like if you're trying to get a job as a regional
instead of Tres Inviernos
news anchor, then you got to work on your dialect. But you're just living life, man. You talk you.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a fine line.
Yeah,
I mean,
unless you're trying to get a job as a news anchor and you want to speak without an accent, then you need to work on it. But short of that, unless you want to have a career reading audiobooks and try to get rid of your accents and things. I mean, other than doing professional voice work, I don't really see a need for you to change it. You know?
Yeah. Well, it's like when some people who do know Spanish say words like tequila and tortilla and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, they say it like with the full Mexican accent, like tequila or like stuff like that. Or
you know what I'm going to do now? I'm going to get like Vidi and Jocelyn and people that speak Spanish to just talk to you just so I can hear you converse in Spanish because I want to see that.
Wait, Jocelyn speaks Spanish?
Not Jocelyn. Vidi.
Oh,
Vidi
okay.
and
I don't know where either.
Everyone's names are going out my window right now. But some of our people that speak Spanish.
Evelyn?
Yeah. Evelyn, thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm next time they're in here, I'm going to be like, just talk to Roy in Spanish. Have a conversation. I want to hear.
It seems
I hear
pandering when other people do it. You know what I mean? When they like use the accent. When like I'm speaking English right now. You know.
I understand what you're saying because I get sometimes I'm
not going to change my accent mid sentence.
Yeah.
You know.
But see, and that's where I don't know if that's an affect or it's just because.
Yeah.
I mean, if you grew up in the world and that's what you grew up in, and then you speak English and then you say like a name or something, you're going to say it in which way you're native to known to say it. So, like if you grew up, and you, when you say a Hispanic name and you get, your accent comes in with that.
Yeah.
Like I understand. I think that's just part of the culture you grew up in. Like if you grew up and that's how it sounded. So when someone's talking like a news anchor, because I know what you're talking about, like a news anchor, you hear them and it's like, we had a storm here in Chimayo, and the way they say it, you know what I mean? They say that.
Yeah.
Amarillo. And I know I just butchered it, but I was just trying to give an example of what you're saying here. And I think that's because
Tijuana,
yeah, exactly. But I think that's because you grew up there, and when you were there, that's how you say it. And so for them, I would imagine that's like, well, that's the name of the town. For me to go, it's not natural for me to go Tijuana because that's not natural for me. I'd say Tijuana. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Conversely, I think it would be unnatural for them to gringo it up for us when that's not how they've done it their whole life.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I get what you're saying, but I think it'd be one thing if they're doing it to all the words, but when you usually only hear that at proper names or, you know what I mean? Something that's a name. It's not usually in the dialect of that they're talking. But when they say a Hispanic name or a Hispanic-based word, then they're going to put the accents appropriately on it because that's how they know it. You know what I mean?
Well, like for me personally, I've grown up with an American accent my whole life. But like if
say that might be part of it. You were probably,
but I can switch it to the Mexican accent when I'm speaking Spanish.
So like your dad is a white guy that probably talked like a white guy, and your mom is Hispanic, so you got a foot in both worlds. You hung around with dad talking like a white guy, and then with mom, learning Spanish and speaking with a Spanish dialect.
Yeah.
So you kind of have that foot in both worlds, you know. And instead of hiding one, celebrate that, man. That's a uniqueness that you get to enjoy, and a perspective that gives you a unique perspective that some people don't have, and that's a good thing, not a bad thing.
Yeah, I'm just talking about like the stuff you see in movies where like you see the Hispanic guy or whatever.
Oh, I know.
He's speaking English, and all of a sudden he says, "Como se dice?"
I got that's like they suddenly forgot the word. Or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like that's not real. Like that's not
that to you. Okay, and then I have no idea because I'm not involved in that. I don't know if that's an affect or a tactic or just a lack of knowledge of the word they're looking for.
I mean, that could be real if you're like fluent and you're just coming from Mexico.
Yeah.
But like it's
You've been speaking English for 30 years. You probably know all the words you need to know by now.
Yeah. Me personally, I'm here.
But I mean, like how often do you speak Spanish? Like daily?
Only when I have to.
Okay, but is it
like only
once a month, daily on average? What do you think?
Like only when I'm talking to other people who speak Spanish.
Okay.
Like.
But I mean, is that often?
That's their native.
Yeah,
tongue.
but is that something that happens frequently to you, or is that like once a year?
Well, my neighbors speak it. My aunt speaks it. So it's like
pretty frequent.
So it's like it's like maybe like once a month.
That blows me away. It's another facet I learn about Roy that you're an enigma, man.
Or if I go to a restaurant or something and they only speak Spanish, you know, I'm able to just communicate with them, and they're like, they're scared of me because it's like, oh whoa,
because they don't look like. Because I didn't expect you to be fluent in Spanish. That's dude, you embrace that. That's a good thing.
Yeah, I don't look it, but I'm half Mexican, so
awesome. I just didn't know that side. I didn't know, and then now when you say it, because you've never done anything to show that side, so I just didn't know it existed till now. So that's awesome. Yeah. Now I want to see you speak. I want to see you in the Spanish world. I want to see you communicating because I just that.
Don't ask me to do it on demand though, because I've always.
That's why I said I'm going to get VD or someone just start talking to you in Spanish and force you to talk back. That's what I'm going to do.
Because it always bothered me in school. It's like, well, say something in Spanish. It's like, like
no, I don't want you to do that, but I'm going to get them to come up and just start talking to you in Spanish and force you to get in so I can hear it because I want to hear it.
Yeah,
so that's my goal now. It's a mission I have.
Yeah,
I better get the interview going here.
We'll go to a party in a Mexican family one time together.
I just want to see. I want to see you in action. I want to see it. I want to see that because that. That's to me that's impressive. I wish I had that ability. I don't. I wish I did. So
You don't know any other languages?
Huh?
You don't know any other languages?
I took 3 years of Spanish, but I don't feel comfortable saying I'm fluent in it. I can speak.
Okay.
I can understand certain words. I can maybe get the gist of something, but I can't communicate my thoughts well in Spanish. do that to a point that you would understand me, I don't think. I know enough words to be dangerous, basically. I can pick out a certain word here or there, and so I may be able to. I think he's talking something about a TV show, and that's about my extent of it. I can't.
Well, usually your kind, y'all end up learning like French or German in
well,
school.
See, that's just it. I took it in high school, and I was taught Castilian Spanish, which is the kind of Spanish they speak in Spain, not in Mexico or Latin or Central America or any other. It's like learning English in England. You know what I mean? It's going to be different.
Yeah.
So, we're going to replay our interview we had with Scott Booker. He's with the Small Business Development Center out at Eastern New Mexico University, Roswell. And he joined us for one of hopefully many conversations last week to talk a little bit about the services and everything that they offer free of charge. And it's for the public. A lot of people think a lot of the resources and things at Eastern New Mexico University Roswell are geared solely for students. And that is not true. It's a community university. So the Small Business Development Center, they probably help more people that aren't students than they do that are actually enrolled at the time. So it's for everyone here. But we're going to play that interview with Scott here in just a few. Before we do that, though, let's get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We're in pretty nice shape for the next few days. Temperatures will be on a slow warming trend. We'll be up to about the 80-degree mark by Friday. High pressure overhead, so we get sunshine today with low 70s on the high. Maybe a few clouds drifting through overnight, low to mid 40s, and then we're in the mid to upper 70s and sunny on Thursdays, Friday, sunny and 80. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently, did I refresh? No. Let me hit the refresh. Sorry about that. Currently 50 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 63% with winds out of the northeast at 5 miles per hour. Nice day today, partly cloudy, 73 for a high with north winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight, partly cloudy, looking at an overnight low of 43 degrees, southwest winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Thursday, another nice day, mostly sunny, 74 for a high. West winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tomorrow night, mostly clear with an overnight low of 47 degrees. Winds will be out of the west 10 to 15. Friday, pushing 80. Officially 79. Sunny, 79 for a high. Northwest winds 10 to 15 miles per hour. Partly cloudy Friday night, looking at an overnight low of 46. For the weekend, Saturday, partly cloudy, 78 for a high. Sunday, going to be windy. Patchy blowing dust for the afternoon, partly cloudy and windy with a high of 73. Monday, they're saying there's a chance, 20% chance of rain, 62 and breezy on Monday. All right, 19 minutes after 9 o'clock, we're going to take a 3.5-minute break, and then we're going to play our interview with Scott Booker from the Small Business Development Center out at ENMUR. That's up next. Don't go away.
To plant or not to plant? That is the question. Hi, this is Jim Gill from Roswell Seed Company. Our tomato plants and pepper plants are ready to go. If you plant them now, you might have homegrown tomatoes and peppers before anyone else. Or the frost might kill them. As Clint Eastwood would say, do you feel lucky? You'll either be the smartest gardener in the county or you'll get to replant them all over again. I say go for it. You'll get more practice and we'll get more business. This is Jim Gill from Roswell Seed Company, and I apologize to William Shakespeare.
Believe it or not, your home insurance company isn't evil. Jennifer from Trustmark Roofing here. A lot of roofers make your insurance company out to be your enemy. They'll talk about fighting and battling your insurance to get you the claim you deserve. But honestly, your insurance company is a group of people just like you and me. That's why we don't treat your roof insurance claim like we're going to war. We treat it like a court case. We provide your insurance company every piece of evidence needed to get you the highest possible claim. We submit photos, videos, detailed documents, and line-by-line estimates. And guess what? Our non-combat approach works. On 92% of roof insurance claims, we get the highest amount the first time. And the rare times we don't, well then, that's when we go to bat for you. Call today for your 20% off coupon for our spring roof and gutter maintenance service. 575-755-ROOF or visit TrustmarkRoofPros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first.
What made Roswell Hyundai the #1 used car dealership in southeastern New Mexico for 2023? Great selection, great savings, and great people. Roswell Hyundai has an amazing selection of makes, models, and model years to choose from. If you can't find it, Roswell Hyundai can get it. And Roswell Hyundai will take any trade. The experts at Roswell Hyundai will work with you to get you behind the wheel of your next dream ride. So, what makes Roswell Hyundai the #1 used car dealership in southeastern New Mexico? You do! Come check out the Used Car Supercenter only at Roswell Hyundai, 1909 West 2nd.
It takes a long time to develop trust. At LaGrone Funeral Chapel, they've been earning your trust for decades. They understand how important it is to friends and family to celebrate a life in the way you choose. The professionals at LaGrone will ease your stress and anxieties. They'll provide the guidance you need to select a service that's appropriate. And that's what they've been doing for generations, earning your trust and doing the right thing. LaGrone Funeral Chapel and Crematory, 900 South Main in Roswell. Online at LaGroneFuneralChapels.com.
Are you walking around with a space in your mouth from a missing tooth? Are you having difficulty chewing? Or are you holding back on your big smile in those group photos? Hi, this is Dr. Sarah Usher with Carabelli Dental. Did you know that we provide dental implant treatment for our patients? We can help you replace one tooth or all your teeth with dental implants. Why not call our office today? Set up an appointment and let's chat about options that will boost your confidence and allow you to live the life with the smile you want.
Come see the team at Carabelli Dental at the corner of 9th and Main in Roswell or call 575-622-4455.
At New Mexico Gas Company, our priority is your safety. That's why we add a Rodden X smell to natural gas to help alert you of the presence of natural gas. So if you ever notice a Rodden X smell, it might be a natural gas leak. We recommend that you leave the area immediately. And from a safe distance, call New Mexico Gas Company at 1-888-NM-GAS-CO or 911. We're New Mexico Gas Company, and our priority is keeping you safe. That's why we're here. Learn more at nmgco.com.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Alaska is the only state name that can be typed on one row of keys. Go ahead and try typing the other 49 states. We'll wait. Here's Mike Winters.
Or Snicker if you want. It's up to you. Good morning. It is 21 minutes after 7 o'clock. And joining us in studio this morning from the Small Business Development Center at ENMUR, Scott Booker joining us this morning. Good morning. How are you doing today?
Good morning, Mike. Thank you for having me today.
Thanks for joining us. We do appreciate it. And I think, from when we on the surface here, we talk about the title and the Small Business Development Center. And so people probably get a general idea of what kind of what you do here, but really you're a public resource for folks that are, if you're a small business owner or thinking about being a small business owner or want to know what it takes to be a small business owner, you're a resource for the public to really help navigate through those kind of things.
Yeah, Mike, it's an awesome resource that, many folks just aren't aware of that's available for them. It's at no cost to them.
Yeah.
Free, at no cost, business development consulting, how to start a business, grow a business, expand a business, stay in business.
Absolutely.
Systems development, process improvement. The resources are amazing.
Sure.
And I tell you,
technology makes it even like things like as a small business you couldn't do 20 years ago, now you can do just because the world we live in.
Absolutely.
Yeah. The thing and what I love about this is because, especially with small business owners or small business people that start small businesses, generally their passion is their business.
That's right.
Whether it's food or making a widget or whatever it is. And so that's where their expertise is. And unfortunately, this is where the problem with small businesses between success and failure, if you put as a percentage of the passion and effort into the business side of your business as you do in the product or your labor of love here, then but that's the part here is, even though you have the best product in the world, if you can't market it, if you can't sell it, if you can't create a business that gets it to people, then it's useless. And so that's where people may have the expertise on making the best pie in the world, but how to get it to people, that's where you guys come in. And that's where a lot of people can help and benefit. It's like, okay, you may not know much, you know a whole lot about this, but let me show you how to set this up in a business and keep you from getting in trouble with the government, to keep you, making sure everything's successful here. And that's where I think people really need to take advantage of what your guys do is getting, hey, your product, now let's learn how to be a business with your product.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of moving parts. And, many folks are, like you said, very passionate about their product, their service, their idea, their concept. Maybe they're technically inclined, been doing something for a number of years and now want to turn it into a business, and hadn't really expanded their mind into learning how to spin all the plates.
Sure.
So it's one thing to make the pie. It is another thing to bring that pie to market to capture market share.
Absolutely. And of course, the world we live in right now, depending on when you started your small business, and we're just coming out of the COVID world and things. And as we don't need to tell everybody what kind of detriment that put on small businesses throughout the country and things like that. So
sure,
it's really a resource for you to stay, with the times, stay up, when, especially maybe if you're a small business owner, I've been in business for 40 years, and yes, that's amazing. Maybe we can do business a little bit better. If you're doing it the same way you did it 40 years ago, you might be not tapping into a whole part of your market that you could be getting to. So even if you've been a small business owner for a long time, it still might behoove you to pop in and say, hey, what's the latest and greatest that maybe I'm not taking advantage of at my small business, but some newer technology or newer ideas and things like that. You guys are great for the businesses that have been around for legacy businesses to ones that are still in the planning stages here and all that kind of stuff.
Right. Well, you Mike, you mentioned a very important factor, and that is the technology available today allows us to expand our markets. And if we live in a little economic bubble and we're dependent on just the community around us for our livelihood, we're competing for an ever and shrinking disposable dollar. The economy's tight.
Yes.
Money's tight. And we're now competing, as a community with each other for the disposable dollars of our community if we're trapped in this demographic bubble.
Absolutely, yeah.
So with technology, business owners are able to reach anywhere in the country.
Your local business can be global pretty easily with the internet.
Absolutely. And that's an area that is underserved.
Sure. But conversely, everyone else's local business is global too, which in the terms of your brain and as a small business owner, that just means your competition pool just got a lot bigger too. So, but that's why you got to think in those terms a little bit. It's like, yeah, you got to, but you also got to remember too, now the people that are doing the same thing you do are in your neck of the woods too.
Right.
And so but again, that's where talking to Scott and talking to your folks and with the Small Business Development Center, this is what they help you with these resources, navigate you through this. When there's new things on the horizon, you guys are doing workshops and doing things to get that out to our local constituents and things like that.
Absolutely. We're serving all of Chavez County, Northern Eddy County, Lincoln County. We have 19 centers in the state of New Mexico. We're all hosted at higher education. And, conversely, we're not a higher education program. We're not a college program. We're hosted at higher education for oversight purposes.
And college students are more than welcome to come on in and talk to you guys.
Absolutely.
But it's for the public. It's for if you live, breathe, eat, work here in New Mexico, then come on in here.
And they don't have to come on in. We can meet virtually anywhere with anybody in the state. We service clients all over the state of New Mexico.
And, of course, locally here, you'll pop in and have meetings, because I get it. Some small business owners, like, I'm here from sun up to sundown. I can't leave. You come and we'll sit down and talk with them.
Yes, absolutely. We do on-site training. We do training and development across the gamut.
Sure. I just want to pick your brain with some gee whiz stuff here.
Right.
What's some big common mistakes that you see small businesses, and I know this is a very general thing, but just in terms of business, what's some of the big mistakes that you see from pretty consistently that would probably, if you gave someone said, if you started this route, I probably would have a lot less people coming through the door because a lot of people are having this. I mean, is there certain problems or mistakes or a common thread that just seems to be the roadblock for a lot of small businesses?
Well, that's a loaded question too.
Yeah.
a lot of business owners are really savvy in a specific service or a specific product.
Sure.
They haven't marketed before. They're not as experienced in sales. One of the biggest challenges that we see in small businesses and entrepreneurial development is you got to be willing to do it all.
Mm-hmm.
You got to know how to do it all, not just make the product, but you got to be able to do the administrative. You got to be able to do the bookkeeping and the accounting, the financial management, the strategic marketing, the development, the conversion process, getting people on the schedule,
absolutely,
getting them scheduled, time management, and the deliverable itself, being able to manage all areas of the business effectively and efficiently.
And that's something a lot of business owners, when they dream, because that's what business someday and dream. They're thinking about making the product and stuff. They're not thinking about sitting there doing the books or doing doing what it takes to the other ancillary parts of running a business. Right. And as the owner, you got to know all of that. And if you're not really being a responsible owner.
Well, I'm proud of our business owners as well.
Yeah.
They're good at what they do. But there's always room for improvement.
Absolutely. Well, and we don't come in the world knowing everything, and that's what and you could still have a lot of great business acumen, but there's always a little bit more, like you said, that you can learn or do, or and to be honest, I mean, business is business and works, but there's certain things that might work in New Mexico that may not work in other places just because of our the way we do things and stuff like that, and that's where. Having that know-how and having someone like the Small Business Development Center kind of in your corner helping you navigate through that stuff. It's a difference between success and failure for a lot of businesses. It really is.
Absolutely. A lot of folks are looking for expansion funding, funding opportunities. Most of the businesses that we work with need a business plan.
Mm-hmm.
They need a business plan, not because they're trying to get funding per se, but a business plan where you can easily summarize your concept in a paragraph or two, talk about the product, the service, the value proposition, the solution that you provide, and the need in the economy or the need in your market for that deliverable.
I would also guess, too, it also serves as a reminder for you to keep you on track, you as a business owner, because sometimes you're as a business owner and then you see things and let's see new things come in here. It's like, all right, wait a minute, let's get back to the plan here. Is that really part of the business plan? Is it? Then yes, let's do it. If it's not, then maybe we need to go in a different direction.
Jim Collins wrote a great book called Good to Great.
Mm-hmm.
And in that book, he talks about being able to focus on your hedgehog concept. And the hedgehog concept is really what makes the business tick.
Okay.
The main thing is, as Stephen Covey would say, keeping the main thing in your business. The hedgehog concept is what you are passionate about, what you can be the very best at in your market, and what can drive your economic engine. And so if it doesn't fall within the hedgehog concept, you need to refer that somewhere else. It's one thing to have a concentrated bolt of lightning to build your business on.
Sure.
And when you have a lot of little thunders going on and no concentrated bolt of lightning, you're too diverse and you're all over and you're really unable to be really good at everything.
Plus, that's when you tend to lose your identity and what what you are as a person and as a business there. And so, it's. And that's that's kind of and that's a given, and that's in any aspect of life, whether it's business or any other aspect. It's that when too much is too much, when to it's the Kenny Rogers song, The Gambler. When to hold 'em, when to fold 'em, when to walk away, and when to run.
Right.
That's life in general, and you got to do business that way too. You got to create your plans and stick to it, and use the tools that are there to remind yourself what the plan is and what we're trying to do now. Does it fit with the plan or does it not fit with the plan? And that should be your guide on what you should be doing next.
Right.
And that's, but you gotta train yourself and get yourself into that routine if that's not naturally how you do things to begin with. especially in a business aspect. And it's one thing when you're the one person and you're doing everything, and that's great if you can keep up with that. But at some point, if as a business owner, you don't want to be doing that anymore. Otherwise, your business is stagnant.
Exactly. And then the next challenge you mentioned, what challenges are they experiencing? What are the main problems? And number one is knowing how to do it all yourself. Number two is being able to train somebody else to your weaknesses, the things that you're not really good at, be able to hire to your weaknesses to free up your mind so that you can work on the things that make money.
Absolutely.
And not doing the things that are your weaknesses.
Sure.
Hire. That's one of the biggest mistakes I made in my career. I had my own business for 24 years, my practice. And one of the things that challenged me was I was spinning all the plates and putting in the long hour days, and saw the challenge in hiring other people was it was taking time away from what I was doing to drive my economic engine to train others to my weaknesses, and then have them move on down the road in a year. And I got to the habit of Mike saying, I do it myself. I'll do it myself. I don't have time to train somebody else or train my replacement or, teach and educate. I'll just do it myself.
I know that mindset. I'm a frequenter of it myself.
And yet, when I fell prey to that weakness and did it all myself, it reduced the amount of time I could spend in revenue generation.
Mm-hmm.
And so the main thing in a business is profit. You got to make money.
Mm-hmm.
And
without that, the rest don't matter.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. And so for me, it was the ability to focus on the next client, outreach, development, conversion, fulfillment, outreach, development, conversion, fulfillment. And then worrying, and I'd spend doing my taxes plate at the end of the year, my accounting and management at the end of the year, et cetera, reporting and so forth, and administrative. Goodness, a lot of time is spent on administrative things in the financial industry. And, that's time away from revenue generation.
Yeah.
So hiring to our weaknesses and being able to focus and stay focused on the hedgehog concept and the ability to teach, train, and develop people in your unique way of differentiating yourself in the marketplace is key.
Absolutely. And I imagine, especially for like in your example here, where you're kind of the head cook and bottle washer and spinning all the plates here, it's sometimes the hardest part is to let that go, to say, you know what, I am actually doing more harm than good by doing it this way in my business. I need to give the rein to certain facets of this business to other people and let me oversee and manage and focus on the big picture.
The $1,500 a month I'm saving right now, the $2,000 a month, the $4,500 I'm saving by not having a couple of people or whatever, is costing me $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 a month in lost revenue. But if I can recruit, train, develop, and retain for a period of time, then it frees up the creative energy of an entrepreneur to continue to develop markets.
Absolutely. And I'm going to throw this in because I'm a fan of the show and I watch it pretty regularly, but there's a show on Paramount called Bar Rescue, and it's a man named Jan Taffer. He's a restaurant bar owner many years. And
Brutal.
He goes into various bars around the country that are failing for various reasons. Could be, they don't know what they're doing. Could be just economic times hit them weird or whatever it is. Each one's a different. There's a common thread on most of them.
Yeah, tough love.
Yeah, but it's really what it is. It's a bunch of business owners most of the time that really have a love for owning a bar, but have no earthly idea other than how to sit in a bar and drink, how a bar operates.
Right.
And so he has to come in and educate and do and so a lot of the things you're saying right here, it's like watch an episode of that, and it's very much, yes,
For restaurants and bar owners and food establishments and so forth, I call it the front door, the back door, and the garbage can.
Yeah.
Okay, the front door is your client interface, your customer interface, the differentiating environment and so forth. The back door is managing your vendors and supply chains and cost effectively and efficiently managing that. The garbage can obviously is what? Waste.
And obviously the bar and food industry, that's a huge success or fail reason. If your people are wasting food, then your cost is going way up.
So these kinds of establishments in just one segment need systems and development, systems and processes to manage each area, front door, back door, and the garbage can in order to self-actualize and transcend your marketplace as a effective business in the community, right?
Yeah.
A deliverable given to your community, providing that solution, so forth. So we will break that down. As mundane as it seems it can be,
it's the difference between success and failure.
Down and help business owners see their business through a different lens and be able to manage more effectively and efficiently so that they can grow and expand. Again, free up their ability to focus on keeping the hedgehog concept, keeping the main thing the main
eye
thing.
on the prize.
That's right.
And
that's right.
And to be honest, I don't think it doesn't matter what the business is. I think once you kind of embrace that concept and see it in action and start working, then it allows you to tap into your creative side and say, all right, what new ways can I present my product to other people now that I've got a system in place? How can we bedazzle it up for another level to get the next generation or keep there? And then if you want to get in touch with
it's super easy.
Yeah.
Our clients generally are referred to us by other business owners and say, man,
word of mouth's your best advertising.
They're listening
sometimes.
And they're saying, you need to talk to this guy over here, at the SBDC, because he can help you exactly with that. Setting up your LLC, setting up your sole proprietorship, getting your EIN, doing the legal structure and the bookkeeping and the financial management and getting that organized, how to put the business plan together and strategic marketing and so forth, and working on your scripts, working on your systems and so forth. They go to the website and they can select our location in Roswell. We have 19 centers across the state. Here's the great thing about it. We got experts that are posted all over the state of New Mexico. If I don't have an answer for a client and they're looking to do some kind of a import export, manufacturing, whatever, and that's not my bailiwick, I got a guy that they can talk to. I got a gal that they can talk to that's an expert in that area. So the resource of our network, and with technology that we have today, we can meet with anybody anywhere in the state virtually, and also put them in touch with and co-counsel with other experts, that may have the answers they're looking for. A lot of folks I talked to recently are looking for ways to protect their concept, patenting and intellectual property.
Absolutely.
Hey, these are things you got to protect.
Absolutely, because if we don't, someone will take it.
No, absolutely.
Not a question of if, it's when.
On the other side, I guess on the other side of that, Mike, there's room for competition. There's room for healthy competition. And just because there's somebody else, I get folks all the time, well, why do you want to do this? Well, because there's nothing like this in Roswell. I have to ask them, why do you think that is?
Yeah.
Do you think somebody else might have done that and it wasn't for Roswell? Or, you don't always have to be the only game in town, and good, healthy competition. There's plenty of room for competition. We're not talking about just Roswell. We're not talking about Artesian, Lincoln County, whatever. We're talking about global, like you said.
Yeah, you the world's your oyster with the internet now.
And there's hundreds of thousands in your market. Hundreds of thousands in your market. They just may not be here. But it's just as easy to reach. And to attract, develop, convert, and fulfill.
And especially if you're a niche business where it's, like I would give it like hobby businesses. People that start businesses based on their hobby or passion. You love it. Like I'll just pick, I don't know, model railroading. You may love model rail, but let's face it, your customer base is going to be much smaller than a restaurant per se, where everybody's going to want to come there at some point.
Sure.
So for your business to succeed, you really need to tap into the bigger market to get the bigger market of niche people looking at your product. And so when you have a niche product, you even have to really sharpen the business plan and the model. Otherwise, you're probably not going to make it, because you're only getting your message out to 2 people that actually want your product. And that's and that's something I think, getting back to people's love for the thing versus the business.
Right.
That's where they got to come and talk to you and say, okay, I get what you're doing here, but if you want to sell this, we can do it, but you've got to figure out the way to turn on more people than just Chaves County here.
Right.
There's not enough of them to support you.
Right.
In this business. And that's hard pills to swallow for some people.
Well, the younger generation today, and the Gen Y and the Gen Z and Gen Xers, they have a little more technological savvy, are into the omni marketing channels, having many channels in social media and so forth, and digital and over the web and so forth, to get a message out and be consistent communicating their marketing message across multiple channels. And they're real good at that. Hey, that's great. Okay. But that doesn't reach 100% of your market. That reaches maybe 30% of your market. Like you're saying, 40% of maybe 30, 40% of your market. What are you doing to attract the other 60, 70, 80, which could, percent of your market share? And are there areas of your own abilities and skills development to shore up and perhaps work to improve those areas so that you can expand your outreach and expand your ability to develop and convert new business?
Absolutely.
Outside of our borders, outside of our area, our county and so forth. I get clients all the time doing business all over this, the U.S. I mean, Texas, a huge market. Arizona, Colorado, regionally, Oklahoma and so forth, Missouri. People are doing outreach in all these areas. I have other clients that are fixated in big cities on the East Coast. And they can work from a studio apartment in Ruidoso with a telephone and an internet connection and a webcam and so forth, and do business all over the world.
Absolutely.
So there's less restraint on where you choose to live.
Probably much happier too than sitting in an office in New York City.
Well, hey, now there you go.
I would be for sure.
Well,
I think I'd rather sit where it's a little quieter than the hustle and bustle. I've done both, and I like the quiet.
Well, I think that's why we're here.
Yeah, it's but this is what you guys do. This is what the Small Business Development Center does is take whatever you're doing and make it better, and giving you the tools and information to take your business to the next level. Whether you're just starting out right now or you're a legacy established business for 50 years in the community, there's stuff to make your business better. And this is a phone call or a visit down to you down at the campus there.
Yeah, just get on the schedule and let's set up an appointment, get together.
Absolutely. Check out NMSBC. I botched it. NMSBDC.org. That is the Small Business Development Center website for the entire state. Click on Roswell if you want to look up Scott's office information and everything there.
And you can reach us direct at 575-624-7133. That's 575-624-7133. My admin and coordinator is Carolyn. She is amazing. And either of us will answer the phone and get you on the schedule at a convenient opportunity to see what we can do to help.
Absolutely.
And again, it's at no cost.
That's the other part, free of charge. This is nuggets of information that is all free and might be that key thing to going from unsuccessful business owner to successful business. And that's what it's all about, because we all know it. Small business is the backbone of every community. This is the stuff, you want to see if we have a good town and financially and how the economy's doing. Your small businesses are a good barometer of that kind of stuff.
Well, I always say, the information that you don't get won't help you.
Exactly.
Just like the book you don't read won't help you.
And afterwards, when you say you don't know, it may feel good to make you feel better about it, but still didn't solve your problem either.
That's right.
Good deal. Well, Scott, thank you so much for spending time. I think what we ought to do is, if you're amenable to, is maybe do like a monthly thing where we come in each month and just kind of give a good, just general business, maybe focus on a particular area of business or something, and just kind of give a few tips there. Just kind of be the bee in bonnet for people, and maybe they spawn a question like, oh, dude, I'm going to get Scott on the phone.
You know, that would be great. When I work with clients, generally we'll work for a period of time, maybe once a week for an hour, and go reoccurring for a number of weeks, and then scale back to once every 2 or 3 weeks, and then scale back maybe once a month, and so forth. And we cross milestone after milestone after milestone over a systematic, 5, 6, 7 week process. And we would have no problem at all coming in on a monthly basis and just doing that on a monthly progression over time.
I would love to do that. We'll look at your schedule and see what there's a certain day of the month that works best, and we'll make it happen. And I'll get on my butt and get it right too. So
you got it,
Scott. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. And again, reach out to him. www.nmsbdc.org or 575-624-7133 is you can reach him direct here over at the campus there, or just come on by. You guys are, what's the name of the building you guys are in?
We're in the Occupational Training Center building.
It's on Mathis there, 20 West Mathis.
That's correct.
Is the physical
it's
address.
The building with the old oil derrick in front of it.
Yes, yeah. But if you get lost, if you need to pump it into your GPS, it's 20 West Mathis, and then because what you're gonna do is you're gonna get close and like, which one is it again?
We got good signage.
That's right. But if you're not familiar with the area, you get a little turned around sometimes. So because it used to be a military base, and the thing about military bases, all the buildings look the same. That's just something unique to a lot of military base buildings.
Well, it's very convenient sitting in your living room or in your kitchen or in your office or a bedroom at the house, and on a virtual connection, it could save you the travel time to and from over a lunch break when you're kind of squeezed.
They are very convenient, but they don't fully replace the in-person meeting. There's nuances to that meeting that you miss sometimes.
That is true.
But again, but as far as convenience and I how many people's baking got saved over COVID because of Zoom meetings? That was the game changer for many businesses and people to get through. So it's a good thing.
That's right.
Scott, as always, appreciate it. When we'll get you set up and see you here next month. Okay.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. It is 7:53. Let us pause for local news, Kim Commando update, and local sports as well. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
I'm Jared Cirillo. Kindergartners from Grand Heights Early Childhood Center in Artesia recently visited the public safety complex. The kids were treated to a grand tour of the facility, which included personnel from the Artesia Police Department, Fire Department, Eddy County Fire and Rescue, also members of the Artesia Municipal Court. Eager beavers were able to explore various sections of the building and interact with the equipment and tools used by emergency responders. Monday, the Supreme Court rejected an appeal from a former New Mexico County Commissioner who was thrown out of office over his participation in the January 6th riots at the U.S. Capitol. Former Otero County Commissioner Coy Griffin, a cowboy pastor who rode to national political fame by embracing then-President Donald Trump with a series of horseback caravans, is the only elected official thus far to be banned from office in connection with the Capitol attack, which disrupted Congress as it was trying to certify Joe Biden's 2020 electoral victory over Trump. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo.
Your morning cup of Sean. This is the Sean Hannity Morning Minute.
Pay very close attention. Not only are they coming for your gas-powered vehicles, we know that has been a big part of it, then your gas stoves and your refrigerators and your air conditioning and your washers and dryers. The Biden administration now this week is trying to finalize highly anticipated regulations that are all targeted against gas-powered vehicle tailpipe emissions, considered the tip of the spear in their efforts to electrify transportation in the transportation sector. The EPA now will issue the final rulemaking, which officials have boasted will incentivize greater adoption of electric vehicles, which opponents have criticized as a de facto mandate. And that's what it's doing.
The Conservative Underground meets later today on The Sean Hannity Show.
My Pillows, Mike Lindell's so passionate, he wants every American to get a great night's sleep. And this started with the original My Pillow. And then after the original pillow, he focused on bedding and then created his now famous Giza Dream Sheets, the best sheets you'll ever sleep on. You've heard me raving about them. Well, now is the time to upgrade your bedding. Give these Giza Dream Sheets a try. And for a limited time, you can purchase a queen size set for $59.98 or a king size set for just $10 more. Just go to MyPillow.com, click on the Sean Hannity Square for these deep discounts. They appreciate all of your support during these times. And the way they say thank you, well, they're going to give you free shipping on many of their MyPillow products. Go to MyPillow.com, click on the Sean Hannity Square, check out their Giza Dream Sheets. You can also get 60% off their original My Slippers, or you can just call, mention my name, 800-919-6090, free shipping, deep discounts, mention my name, Hannity, or just go to MyPillow.com and the Sean Hannity Square. Where?
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We're in pretty nice shape for the next few days. Temperatures will be on a slow warming trend. We'll be up to about the 80-degree mark by Friday. High pressure overhead, so we get sunshine today with low 70s on the high. Maybe a few clouds drifting through overnight, low to mid 40s, and then we're in the mid to upper 70s and sunny on Thursdays, Friday, sunny and 80. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Over the next several weeks, we want to give you 5 key elements to a great marriage. This is taken from an article by Drs. Les and Leslie Perot. Hi, this is Pastor Troy and Julie Smotherman for The Joy of Marriage. The first one is ownership, taking responsibility for the good as well as the bad.
1 Corinthians 11:31 says, judge yourself so you won't be judged. It's talking about the judgment of God, but it also applies to our relationships, especially the ones that are closest to us, like marriage. If you'll just take responsibility for your own actions, it's so much easier for our spouses not to have to point out and criticize us.
So we have to take responsibility for our actions and our reactions, our attitudes and our mistakes. You know, most people would learn from their mistakes if they weren't so busy denying them.
You aren't responsible for what your spouse does. You are responsible for doing your part. So just decide today to do your part and take ownership.
Attention Roswell, Carlsbad, Artesia, and all of southeast New Mexico. The University of New Mexico wants you. UNM is ranked in the top 1.5% of all universities in the world, and the only Research One university in New Mexico, with over 200 academic programs and endless opportunities. UNM is truly a world-class university. Define your future at the University of New Mexico, and UNM has increased the number of scholarships for 2021, so now is the time to apply. Apply today at unm.edu. Now accepting applications from southeast New Mexico.
Clyde Lewis and Ground Zero is now in Roswell on 106.5 FM, KEND Roswell.
And it is closing in on 10 o'clock. That's going to do it for us for today. Thank you so much for allowing us to be a part of your day. If you missed any part of the show, log on to ksvptv.com. You'll find it all there. Have an amazing day. We'll talk to you bright and early tomorrow.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com.